I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one Chief Rock Knicks Universe, main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the premiere Knicks in the Nighttime show. The Knicks at Night podcast. What's good? What's good? What's good? Salute everybody. Andios is in the building. Coach is in the building. Salute, salute. Salute to everybody out there watching us, hanging out, and everything. Coach is in the building. Salute, Coach. What's good, bro?
Salute, brothers.
Salute, salute. Hey, man.
Yo.
I was asked a question.
Okay.
What would it
I'm
take?
single. Yeah, I'm single.
Yeah, but nothing that important. I was asked a less important question.
I thought Mocha was asking for her sisters.
Nah, man. Nah, we too simple for that, bro. We just trying to finish off the rest of this pizza from the other night. We ain't nothing too heavy. Yeah. Yeah, not too heavy, bro. Yeah. So the question I got for you is this. It's been asked to me twice today, so I'm gonna ask y'all, right?
Wiz
is in the building. Salute.
Lord of mercy.
What would it take for us to consider next season a disappointing season?
Second round exit again.
That's the same, bro. Everybody I talked to, so it was like 3 different people, like one on telephone call and two through text, asked me the same thing and stated the same answer, like a second round exit.
I mean, that would be a team wide, like just for the team, it would be disappointment, like in general, the fan base. But for me, now that I see the talent that we have, if we don't win the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm gonna be disappointed because we're too good to not win it with this roster. Because as long as health, let me rephrase that. If we're fully healthy, I expect to win the Eastern Conference Final.
Okay.
I'll be happy with there. I won't say the whole season's a disappointment.
Right.
I think our talent for this year would have come up short if they didn't win it.
Okay. That is it's amazing that you say that, man, because I was asked that, and I don't like thinking about questions like that, to be honest, but it's been asked to me. But now that I hear your answer, I think Knicks Nation is legit concerned about the glass ceiling. right? We've only been to the second round 2 times. So it's not like we've been there 6 times in a row and we can't get through a glass ceiling. But we're also confident that this may be the best team ever assembled as a Knicks franchise.
Yeah, because we were on the cusp of winning both of those second round series with a lot less. It's one of the main reasons too.
Right.
Like the Heat series, we weren't at full strength because of Randle.
Yeah. And quickly.
And quickly.
Yeah.
And obviously this year, if we just had either OG or Randle, we win that game 7. I think it goes to game 7 if we have Randle.
I think what would be a disappointment for me is if we lose in the first round in a 4-5 matchup to a team like Indiana. If we lose to Indiana, both teams full strength in a 4-5 matchup in the first round, bro, you talking about disappointed, bro?
That's worse than disappointment.
Yeah, because now
someone's got to go.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, because
didn't work.
And the reason why it would be disappointing to me is because this year we have the built-in excuse that the only reason why we lost to Indiana was because of injuries. But if we face them again with both teams healthy in like a 4-5 matchup and we lose to them, somebody got to pack their bags.
First of all, if we're the 4 seed, I'm already disappointed.
Already, that's what I'm saying. So now you
going into
it. Now you see
went
what's
wrong
with it, right?
But Sherwin kind of has a point. If in some weird instance we get Boston in the second round, like
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if Boston comes out a little championship hangover and not having Porzingis for a little while.
Right.
Get a slow start. And then they got to play uphill the rest of the way.
And with Porzingis out until December.
Yeah. And then I see a world where us and Philly sneak ahead of them.
Right.
Like
I can see a world where Boston is the 4 seed and we face them in the second round, the 1st seed versus the 4 seed.
But then all of a sudden, Porzingis is back though for that series.
Yeah.
That thing,
Fritz Alcindor is in the building. Wiz Alawaz Sherwin is in the building. Salute. Yeah, I would, man. Listen, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I can't see a world where losing in the first round to a Indiana or a Cleveland or a Miami is something that people can survive. Now with high reward,
Orlando is coming.
Huh?
Orlando is coming.
Yeah. And
I'll tell you what. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, bro.
Because I don't know if any of y'all saw that Germany versus France game earlier.
Yeah.
Franz Wagner was the best player on the court.
Yeah.
That game.
Yeah.
Like, he was going off. He looked like LeBron.
Right.
And in case you didn't, forgot, they were playing Gobert and Victor Wembanyama at the same time. So if he was getting to the rim and throwing it down
Right.
There's bullying. And Dennis Schroeder was just going off too.
Right.
But if he starts playing like that with Moncaro, they're gonna be tough.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough, bro.
If they just get a point guard that's serviceable.
Right.
Their situation is they're kind of like us with the point guard. Like, I mean, how we are with the center, they're with the point. I mean, now they don't even have a Mitch point guard. Yeah, they don't have a Mitch. They got Cole Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the Knicks, I would be very disappointed if we were less than the 2 seed. Like as long as we're like, and all these things, all these predictions we're talking about are assuming health. Assuming we're healthy, if adding Mikal Bridges and everyone getting back healthy,
right,
that's 5 wins. And it's really more than 5, but I'm being nice with my expectation.
Right.
Like, I can see this roster getting 60 wins. Let me see. What's the date? On 8/2/2024 at 11:36 p.m., Coach Malpica, a.k.a. Big Paisan, said the Knicks are a 60-win team with this roster as long as we're healthy. Timestamp it. Clip it.
Right. Clip it. Clip it. The only way, and okay, so in my opinion, if the Knicks make the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm not disappointed in the result at all, whichever happens either way. Right now, I'm saying that in 2024. Now in 2025, I'll have a different expectation. Right? Because things change. Right? But if the Knicks stumble somewhere, like if the Knicks lose in the first round to a Indiana Pacers team and both teams are healthy, I think that's the absolutely worst case scenario, bro. And like a 2 versus 7 matchup where we're the 2 seed and they're the 7 seed, something like that, and they beat us, I don't think there is a world where a change is not made somewhere. Right now, if the Knicks face the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals and lose, I can live with that. Even though I'm not saying that I like it, I'm saying that I can live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got hit with that, and I also got hit with the question too. What if we have a significant injury this season? Are you willing to give the franchise a mulligan?
Depends who it is.
Brunson.
It was Brunson's the only one I feel like if we lose Brunson and only make it to the second round because he's out for the year, then I'll understand. But if it's anybody else, we have the pieces to replace him. except for Mitch. But I think we can make things work without Mitch. Randall's going to hurt too, but we can slide everybody up and play Dante. And then Bridge is at the small and OG at the power. And you got Precious coming in off the bench. But I don't even want to talk about that, man.
Yeah, that me.
I don't want to speak that into.
I don't. But
we got enough injuries, man.
But I feel you. But as a content creator, what happens is people hit me up all the time.
Yeah.
With scenario like, yo, how many games we win if Brunson misses significant time, right? And in my mind, and it's no shade on Brunson, and I don't want him to get hurt. Right, Brunson is the leader of the team right now. Brunson is our best player. But if Jalen Brunson gets the because the injury bug legit hops around, bro. It don't hit the same person all the time, right? You got your OG hurt, your Mitch is hurt, your Randall got hurt. It's one of them things, bro, where eventually that roulette wheel is not going to land on the roulette wheel is not going to keep landing on Mitch, right? We're not going to let it, because if the roulette wheel keep landing on Mitch, we're going to get rid of Mitch, right? And no disrespect to Mitch, right? No disrespect to Mitchell Robinson. What I'm saying is ultimately that injury roulette wheel is unpredictable. If it lands on Dante, I think we'll be okay. Right? If it lands on Keita Bates Diop, we'll be okay. If it lands on Precious, we'll be okay. If it lands on Jalen Brunson, we'll be okay. If it lands on Jalen Brunson, I will go out on a limb and say the Knicks will be better defensively without Jalen Brunson. You take out Jalen Brunson, and not to say that Jalen Brunson is not the best player on the team. It's not what I'm saying. I feel like in my mind is I think the team is built to survive the loss of Jalen Brunson, because we seen Julius Randle drag a bunch of dudes that are no longer in the NBA to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think our style will change a little bit.
Right.
Like Gibbs is gonna have to coach it up, change things up a little bit.
Yeah.
It also depends on what time of year it happens. Like if it happens at mid-season, where like McBride and Campaign, maybe even Tyler Cole sneaks in a few times, where they've all gotten accustomed to being in the mix. I know this sounds crazy, but I think Tyler Kolek is a plug and play guy.
I think so also.
Like his style translates.
Bodega Wi-Fi in the building?
Like he's the kind of play guy.
I think so also.
His style translates.
Bodega Wi-Fi in the building?
He's the kind of
Say it again, Coach.
Say he's the kind of like point guard, like one of those kind of gun for hire kind of guy, like someone that's like you hire from the temp agency that kind of knows how to just fill in and do what he's got to do to get through your shift, right? Kind of thing. Like for him, I mean, just from. Because let's face it, the summer league, them dudes didn't all play together before summer league.
Right.
And the way he was playing, he was being a professional point guard.
Okay.
He was just doing all those box checking things that if you just play fundamental basketball, you can, as a point guard, you can show up, do your job. You know?
Okay.
But like, that's the only thing that worries me about Deuce and Campaign. Are they when they're having to play the point guard role?
Okay.
Are they going to be able to do that? Like, and not try to get their own bag going. Like, if Deuce has to play extended minutes at the one with our starters, say, is he going to be able to not worry about getting his shot, get everyone else their shots?
Mm.
We don't really know that yet because he hasn't had, because the time he's had to do it, he's come in with Brunson in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
He did do it that one game when Brunson was out. He had a pretty good little game, but
I mean, I don't, bro. Yeah. It's a lot to think about, bro.
yeah. I don't want to think about that number 11 being hurt.
Yeah. Fritz, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
Ain't that man, chill, bro?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that question. Like everything this summer has kind of revolved around the Knicks being embarrassed that they couldn't suit up this playoffs. So,
Right.
And just the appearance, because Tibbs took the brunt of it. Like in public perception, Tibbs took the brunt of that. Like everybody said, because Tibbs ran him into the ground. So they've kind of like stacked the positions so that this doesn't happen again.
Right.
Except for point guard. So I think if it happened again and Tibbs, he has his 7-man rotation, ain't gonna be good for Tibbs. I tell you that.
Well, here's the thing: what I saw with the Hart and Brunson roommate show and other little interviews and comments and social media stuff, they all have that little what if in the back of their head. Even Josh Hart has said it to other basketball people that, if we were healthy, we were going to give Boston all they can handle. We would have taken the 6-7 games. They're all feeling it, thinking that.
Right.
Now they got their boy here to help them.
Right.
And they know they got Randle back. That there's a certain comfort, no matter how much of a pro, how much you believe in yourself as a player and your own skill set. There's no more comforting feeling knowing that you have some other dude on too that can get the job done. That's why I know a lot of people like, how are Dante and Josh going to react being on the bench? Well, their best friend benched him. Him Cummins what benched him. So that's the one reason and one guy they're going to be okay with it for. And I think Josh Hart, he don't care where he starts or comes off the bench. He just wants to play. He just don't want to play the whole game. He's said that a bunch of times. I don't ever get a rest. Well, he is now. See if he's saying that again this year.
Right.
Yeah. And before that point, like Josh Hart really Josh Hart really blew up in the playoffs. Like really blew up. Like before that point, like nobody was really checking for him. And the Knicks literally buried him.
Right.
Buried him on the bench.
It started with that one. He had that 10-10-10 triple-double. He just got a taste of it after that. It seemed like he started taking off. It was like towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I think we're at a place where we're kind of overconfident and naive at the same time. Right? We're kind of overconfident in that we felt like we built a roster that's a competitor for the NBA championship. And I agree. But I also feel like we're being naive in a sense where we think the injury bug is just our imagination. It's not a real thing. And it got us this time, but it's coincidence. It's a coincidence everybody got hurt throughout the course of the season. It happens to everybody. And then you look around the league and it don't happen to everybody. Usually teams get one hardcore injury and one milky injury. But the Knicks were dropping like flies. It's the reason why we kind of were compassionate for a team that took some really bad losses during the year, but had some excellent wins during the year. It's the reason why we were galvanized, because at times the Dallas game in January without Luka, and it was like Kyrie and Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, and they came out there and bust our ass. That's a game we should have won, but we threw our jersey out there on the floor because we were scorching hot. Right? Y'all remember the January Knicks? We were scorching hot. We were scorching hot. And we took Dallas for granted because they didn't have Luka and some other guys. Right? Right. We took them for granted. Right? But here's the thing. In those losses that we took that were bad losses, like the Orlando game, like a week later, y'all remember the Orlando game? A week later where we couldn't generate offense? Jalen Brunson basically had an off game. Everybody was off. Orlando's length kind of served as a blueprint on how to beat the Knicks. We only lost 2 games in that stretch. We lost to Dallas when we slept on Dallas, and we lost to Orlando, who threw some junk at us, and we were not able to adjust. It happens during the course of a season. It happens to everybody. Right? But I think we were galvanized because we felt like this team has the heart of a champion. Right? And then during the course of the offseason, when you bring in Mikal Bridges, the trade for him was the worst kept secret ever. Right? Who didn't know if Mikal Bridges was traded? Who didn't know he was going to the Knicks? That's the worst kept secret ever. Right? So we feel like the reinforcements that we added, along with bringing back the guys that were injured, like we're not even thinking about the significant loss of Isaiah Hartenstein. Basically, we traded Mikal Bridges for Hartenstein, basically, is what we did. And then brought everybody else back healthy and added rookies. It's basically what we did. Is Mikal Bridges a more accomplished player than Isaiah Hartenstein? To date, does that mean he's going to be a more accomplished going forward? Who knows?
Well, he provides other things.
You're talking about Hartenstein, right?
Well, no, Bridges. Well, yeah, either one. But Bridges provides other things. We haven't replaced what we lost from Ihart. We gained a wing defender, an extra wing defender, and someone that could put the ball in the basket. But we lost some ring protection.
You didn't have that with Dante.
And we lost some Hmm?
You didn't have that with Dante?
You lost some shooting.
That's not. We have the shootings there. We gained extra shooting, is what I'm saying. We gained another score and a better wing defender. You can't put them on the same plane. Him and Dante. Pretty good.
A wing scorer and a wing defender?
You can't.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking for clarity. I'm just trying to follow.
Yeah, I'm saying we gained an elite level wing defender. So we lost some things that we didn't replace, is what I'm saying. When we lost Ihart. I don't know how else I can explain that.
Okay.
Then we gained some more scoring and more wing defense. But we didn't replace some offensive rebounding, some rim protection, some high post handoffs and passing from our post guy. But Randall's going to provide that now that he's back. Gary Cox, salute.
So, okay. So, I mean, am I wrong with thinking that you guys think that the loss of Hartenstein is outweighed by the addition of Mikal Bridges?
I don't
know,
but I think it's a big loss.
Insinuate that.
Big loss.
The thing is, Mitch being back full time replaces some of the stuff we had with Hartenstein. Because Hartenstein provided those extra things because Mitch was out. He didn't get a chance to provide as much of it as it's provided when Mitch was healthy. But he was able to do it more often. When Mitch was hurt. But now that Mitch is back full time, the loss of the offensive boards is the blow is lessened. So I don't know what my words are being twisted around into. Is all I'm saying is I
don't want to twist them, Coach. Not me.
The roster's better still, even though we lost Ihart, is what I'm saying.
I think there's a loss because when it wasn't Mitch's night, it was Ihart's night. Like the two contrasting styles. And
yeah, but Mitch wasn't here long enough to have that come to fruition. That's what my problem is with that.
But that was the plan. Like when it was one person,
right.
when you just needed straight up defense, it was Mitch's night. If you had a big center, other times it was Hartenstein's night.
Play the hot hand.
Yeah. So you always had two options, and one of the two options worked.
Look,
you know what I mean?
I hope for some of y'all that might be new to our channel, I was the president of the Ihart Hive. Me and EG3000. But I'm an actual Knicks fan. EG3000.
But
so
also you have Mikal
discrediting Ihart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Mikal is helping in a spot that we were good at already. You know what I mean? So it's just not. It's a little extra, but it's not.
I gotta stop reading.
You're not adding a whole. You're not adding him to a position that we have like a huge need at.
Yeah, so you improve, but so what I'm thinking about is Ihart leaving basically leaves a spot of evacuation in the lineup that Precious Achiuwa is not going to be able to give you. Like Precious Achiuwa is not going to be able to fill the gap of Hartenstein. But by bringing in Mikal Bridges, you improve two areas. You improve the starting shooting guard spot, and you improve the spot that was evacuated by Bogdanovich by replacing him with Dante. So you improve both spots, right? But what I'm thinking is not being acknowledged is though Mikal Bridges improves 2 spots, the gap between Hartenstein and Precious is cavernous.
It's huge. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. And so I don't want to turn it into the 69 love affair with Isaiah Hartenstein, right? He's an Oklahoma City Thunder right now. I appreciate all the stuff that he did while he was a Knick, but we were talking about the Knicks, right? So when I look at what Hartenstein provided at the starting center spot and as a backup too, when he was a backup, he provided some things that we desperately needed. The energy and charisma and infectiousness from Hartenstein is something that this team needed because we didn't have bigs that brought a team first mentality to the floor every night. Like it was Mitch. Mitch is kind of a clam. Like Mitch is not the guy that's gonna be great job, coach. Coach, you gotta hit these free throws, baby. We need you. We trust you. He not that, bro. Hartenstein was that guy. Like Hartenstein for all the cheerleader stuff, like some people like it, some people don't. I love it. I love the fact when somebody's shot wasn't going, Hartenstein would battle for a rebound and kick it right back out to that guy that was missing shots. I like that.
And he was the first guy to pick up someone off the ground.
Yeah. I like that. I like that type of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like, bro, when Randle hit the shot, I think it was Miami, where Randle was double teamed and he hit the fadeaway, right, to cap off the lead against Miami, right? He hit the dagger and you could see Miami wave the white flag. The first person that went to Randle was not the Nova boys. It was Hartenstein. Good job, man. He talked Randle all the way to the bench. And for those that think that I'm just making something up, go back to the game in the Garden against Miami and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
The optics of what Hartenstein did that may not be in the stat sheet is some of the part that I think we like. Now, did Hartenstein fail to do some stuff while he was here? Did he frustrate me at times? Yeah. That game 7 against Indiana where he scored 0 points will always be in my data bank. I'll never forget that. Right? Is it unfair? Is it unfair to judge him on one game? No, it is not fair. It's not. I have this debate all the time with Knicks fans that hold John Starks in a certain way because of that game 7 in the finals. Or Charles Smith rejected at the rim and against the Bulls. For people that hold that. So I get it. I know people hold one game. People judge a people's entire tenure with one game. I'm not doing that with Hartenstein. I'm just upset that game 7 when we needed him in that one game, he didn't come through.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other stuff that he did as a Knick, bro, I think we got to appreciate it. I don't think it's something that is easily replaceable. But at the same time,
if you want to keep it above, Brunson didn't show up either at the beginning of that game. He was
dog water, right? And people blame that loss on injuries. That wasn't injuries. That was that game poor play is the reason why we lost that game 7.
Like Dante's the only one that showed up and played that game.
And Dante could have scored 55 points in that game and they wouldn't pass him the ball. Remember when Dante got hot in that game? And then they brought in Burks and Deuce, and Burks and Deuce start jacking up shots. And you're like, wait a minute, Dante is on fire. He hit like 2 heat checks back to back. And they stopped passing Dante the ball. But this ain't about the Dante thing. No, it's not about that game 7 in that sense. It's about does the addition of Mikal Bridges outweigh the departure of
but see what
Hartenstein.
The reason why I have a problem with that question is it lets the trolls run wild with kicking someone while they're out the door. Like they want to harp on the couple of negative things instead of thinking about all the good things that he provided.
Well, the reason why I have a problem with your response is because if you ever think you're going to control trolls, you pissing in the wind. Bro, no matter what you talk about, trolls are going to troll.
I don't like giving them a platform.
Yeah, they're going to make one, bro. They're going to make one out of they're going to make one out of cardboard boxes and aluminum foil, bro. Trolls are going to troll, bro.
Giving them the fuel they need. Because the thing is, like I said, I was the biggest iHeart apologist, lover out of anybody. Whole past 2 seasons. He ain't on our team anymore. I don't buy Felicia at this point. You know what I'm saying? I miss him. I wish we had someone close to his skill set in the rotation with Mitch. It would have been a nice 1-2 punch. But he's gone. Bye. Hope you don't get hurt. Hope maybe we'll see you in the finals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. I don't care anymore. Now he's the enemy to me.
Yeah.
He's not a Knick. See, that's the difference. I don't follow players. I'm a Knick fan. And Hartenstein's not a Knick anymore. So it's okay to talk about these what ifs. And but yeah, we're missing some things that he did, but just Randle being back and the things Mikal Bridges does outweighs his loss. Okay. And it's not lessening what he provided. I love what he provided. All the analytics say what he provided is worth. He's a top 5 center in all those efficiency things and all those sexy stats that centers have.
Right.
He's up there for a reason. So
right.
I didn't think we should have been Eastern Conference champs or bust last year with them. And this year we don't have them, and I feel that way. So that should answer that question.
Right.
At least with me.
Right. Right. No, man, I understand that it has a tinge of fear mongering to it. Right. But I want to add something to it. But before I do that, I wanted to so salute to Justo. Salute guys, salute chat. I expect ECF at minimum. I don't know if they're a team better 1 through 9. From us, I think we will have the best record in Knicks history, and either Hart or Devo take home 6 Man of the Year 2025 NBA champs. I'm with you on this 1 through 9. I was gonna say 1 through 13, but yeah, whichever. 1 through 9, 1 through 13. I think it's all the same. When you get to the back end of your bench, it's like when you're comparing players 10 through 13, it's like flavor of the month at that point. And so I think the Knicks are built to sustain a rash of injuries. I think they did that intentionally. At the same time, that's what a responsible front office is supposed to do. They know your season ended abruptly 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row. Right, if you count the 2022 season with Kemba, Derrick Rose, Fournier, where Alec Burks had to play point guard for like 40 games. If you count that season with injuries also, then it's 3 years in a row where the season has ended abruptly because of injuries. Right. So the fact that the front office went out and addressed injuries by adding depth to a roster and not giving away roster spots, right, to guys who probably won't ever play in the NBA ever again, right? Instead of doing that, they brought in the guy from Dallas to help us navigate injuries, and then they added valuable spots on the roster to quality NBA players. At a minimum, they brought in Chuma Okeke on an Exhibit 10 contract. We don't know if he's going to make the roster, but at least he'll compete. A rotational guy will compete for a spot on the Knicks. as opposed to giving it to somebody and and as opposed to giving that roster spot to Ryan Arcidiacono, who is not an NBA player. So when I speak to the what if the Knicks sustain a major injury, it's not as if this team had been healthy for 5 straight years and I'm fear mongering just to get people to talk. The roster has been ravaged by injuries over the past 3 seasons. It's been a talking point for us for 3 seasons. So to assume that going into the fourth season that injuries will not occur, to me, is being naive. And Fritz, I know you heard that, and based on what you heard, you want to trade Randle. I understand.
No, I'm definitely not one of those.
I'm joking.
And I'm telling you, like, everyone keeps suppressing Cameron Payne down the roster. But I'm telling you right now that he's our backup point guard. A lot of people keep saying Deuces, but the last I checked, ESPN isn't Tom Thibodeau.
Right.
So all because ESPN says McBride's the backup one doesn't mean he is.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
I think
we might have
insurance. Yeah.
I think McBride's going to be playing with campaign in the game.
How? Can you explain how?
I mean,
how? How do you get to
when Brunson gets a break?
Okay. When Brunson gets a break, then which one of those guys is going to play?
I think Cameron Payne's going to play.
So Cameron Payne's going to play on the second unit with Dante and Josh Hart.
Yeah.
Okay. So the second unit is Campaign. The second unit is Campaign, Josh Hart, Dante, and Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah, McBride.
Okay.
But they're not going to sub them all 5 at once.
We used to. we used to have the A and the B team.
I wouldn't be surprised if some teams they run that lineup with Payne, McBride, Deuce, Hart, and Precious.
Right. And they'd have to have somebody off that. They'd have to have some. Okay. Or if you add Sims, okay. You think so? There's a world where Sims and Precious Achiuwa play at the same time?
No, I said Precious or Sims.
Oh, Precious or Sims. Okay.
Yeah, like Hart would be the pseudo 4, and then McBride and Dante would be like,
So okay,
kind of being like a pseudo 3, kind of,
So since you have two threes, right? Since you have 2 threes, OG and Mikal Bridges, you think those 4 can come off the bench, and then one of those 3s stays on the floor with that second unit, maybe Mikal Bridges or maybe OG and Anunoby, and then that way Josh Hart can play against guys his size, and OG can be the second unit de facto 4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, that's all I was. I was just asking you to so we can visualize it.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people just think Miles McBride's going to go in, and then Campaign ain't going to play.
Okay.
I think he's going to play more than I don't think he's going to play a lot. I think he's going to get in when Brunson needs a break.
Yeah. I think on most nights, how Coach basically oversimplified it so that it could be palatable for the audience. I think most nights you're not going to see just the 3, right? You may see Randle on that unit with those guys to get offense going. You may see Mitch with those guys, right? You may see Mitch with those. You may see Mitch and those guys. You may see any number of any guy from the starting lineup except Brunson with that second unit, right? Because you can't afford to have Brunson out there with the second unit, because then when the starters come back, to ask Brunson to play with the starters again. You're asking Brunson to play upwards of 40 minutes.
Right.
And you don't want to.
And like I said, when I'm saying, and see, this is where people get things twisted. I'm not saying like they're not going to play all 5 of those guys. It's not like, well, let's take out all the starters. Let's put in all the backups. I mean, that's not how teams sub. You know?
Yeah.
They stag. Any good team staggers their good best players.
Right.
And it's like and the reason you were saying, like, so like Randle, like I think Randle or Brunson's always going to be on the floor unless there's a blow.
Wait. You mean Randle or Brunson's always going to be on the floor? Is what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's what I said. Randle or Brunson.
Okay, because it sounded like you said Randle and Brunson are always going to be on the floor. That's what it sounded like.
No, Randle or so like when Brunson's out, Randle's going to be in.
Right.
And vice versa. You know, unless there's a blowout, you know, whatever. Beating the brakes off somebody, you know, whatever, you put whoever in.
Okay.
But like, and I'm with you. Like you said this earlier, and I believe this more before we got Precious. But I think that Bates Diop is going to find a way to sneak in something.
Yeah. I think Keita Bates Diop. I think Keita Bates Diop and Ariel Huck Party are gonna steal some minutes and not consistently at first. Not consistently. Like I don't think Ariel Huck Party is gonna break out of training camp and preseason and average 17 and 11, and then all of a sudden Precious is expendable. Nah. I think it's going to be a little bit at a time, siphon off, like a night where Sims is out because of a practice injury, and Huck Porty gets called up from Westchester to play like those 2 or 3 random third center minutes, and you'll see him grab like 2 points and 2 rebounds, and it won't look like nothing on the stat sheet. But 2 points and 2 rebounds and 3 minutes over the course of 30 minutes, that's like 30 and 30 almost, right? So I think you'll eventually see Huck Porty. I think you're also going to see Tyler. Remember, everybody, what I'm saying to everybody, and Fritz, I don't know if you agree with this or not. Maybe you're in a more of a structured sense. But I think 82 games is a long season. And I think over the course of 82 games, you're going to see players 1 through 14 contribute. Everybody. I think everybody is going to contribute. And during the example I'll give is in February when Precious Achiuwa was playing 40 minutes a night. Nobody remembers. Like we rarely talk about how good Precious was in February. He was 10 points, 10 rebounds, 40 minutes a night in February. These are facts. It's not just something that we make up. Precious Achiuwa for a stretch was probably the Knicks' 3rd best player consistently in February. Now, was he that in January? No. Was he that in March? No. Was he that in April? No. But in an 82-game schedule, everybody has their moment to contribute to help the team win games. And that's what I think you may see from Cameron Payne. I think you might see that from Keita Bates Diop. I honestly think the unexpected candidate is Ariel Huck Porty. Because the one thing happens in the NBA, right? The one thing happens in the NBA that we forget about, or we've been blessed to have, and maybe we don't appreciate, is centers get hurt in this league all the time.
Especially our center.
Right. So, yeah, centers get hurt all the time. right? When we look at Jokic and we're like, Jokic is an Iron Man. I get it. That's Jokic. What about Anthony Davis though?
Nope.
What,
This year he did good.
yeah, they call the Lakers fans were calling Anthony Davis half man, half a season.
Yeah,
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
Mr. Glass. He was Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass, bro. Yeah. And while he did good, but that's his reputation. And it's because centers in this league get hurt. When Anthony Davis was a full-time 4, he didn't have all these injuries, so they started playing him sparse minutes at the 5, and all of a sudden, these injuries were coming out of nowhere.
Davis.
Yeah, it happens to centers, bro. So with that said, having the rotation, or not rotation, I'm going to step back from that just a little bit because I almost overspoke. Ariel Hekporty is not in our center rotation. He's not, right? But he will have to earn his way into the conversation. And as a Knicks fan, I'm okay with an unproven player earning his stripes as opposed to us giving stripes to an unknown player. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I know, and I don't want to turn this into the Ariel Hekporty Power Hour, right? But I think he showed enough in Summer League, and the Skapinsev kid also have shown enough where if you're looking for a third or fourth center, I think they've shown enough.
Yeah. And the thing is with that too, is now that we've added the top to bottom depth to our roster that we did, we can get away with now doing some coaches' decisions, DNPs, on the second night of a back-to-back or a rough road trip. Let Mitch take a break one night. That's all going to be less wear and tear on his ankles. You know, and those moments are going to be times we can see what some of these guys are backing up to do.
Right.
I don't mind having OG take a game or two break.
Okay.
Even Brunson.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to go too wild with it like as much as Pop did. But I know that's not Tibbs' MO.
Right.
But we haven't had the luxury of being able to do that yet because people been getting hurt before we had a chance to see how that goes. Well, we didn't have enough depth to get away with doing that. So be competitive in Charlotte. Like, we were missing too many guys. Charlotte give us the business for some reason. You know?
Right.
Or Chicago. But now I think our second team, our bench is good enough. We can pepper in one or two of them guys. We'll still beat a playoff team, like bottom of the seeded playoff teams. So, I mean, I've already said this, that I think Hekporty and Skapinsev both have. They've shown enough. Like, I've been watching centers in this league so much these last few years, just because I've always had a soft spot in my heart. Because Patrick Ewing's my favorite player of all time.
Right.
Okay. So, and I came up watching basketball during the heyday of the center. Just like I came up during the heyday of the running back, NFL. So even today, I tend to overwatch that position sometimes. So I even on random games against, like summer league games, I always watch the center. When I play 2K, I create a player. I like creating a post guy.
Right.
I just like the pick and roll stuff they do and boxing people out while another guy's shooting. I watch all those little things that centers do. So I really watch that position. And I really think Huck Porty and Scappa said we got something. Now, I don't know if we have enough there to just say we don't need Mitch insurance no matter what. I mean, if Mitch can make it to December, I'll feel more comfortable with one of them two by then. But not game one. I don't think they're ready quite yet like that to be a regular rotational center yet.
Right. Right.
I mean, we're only one whoops-a-daisy away from that becoming a reality. Hitch Robinson. Can't let that happen no more.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock on wood. Throw the salt over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Any of you Haitian brothers out there that know some voodoo lady, put some voodoo on it. We're keeping away.
And
injuries.
So, yeah, the injury thing. I think is something that we should be aware of. Fritz, are you not aware? Are you in that camp that thinks maybe one guy is injury prone, or maybe two guys are injury prone, and everybody else basically stays reasonably healthy?
You mean this season? Like, anything can happen. Because even Randle, he's not injury prone, but the last couple, people call him injury prone now, even though he just got hurt. And he's been relatively healthy his whole career.
And not really though. And
that first year, yeah.
I'm Randle's number one fan, by the way. Right.
Yeah, his first year in the league, but
Randle has had a rash of injuries. The only thing is the difference between him and others, he and Kawhi Leonard, is Randle will play through his injuries. Randle will play through his injuries, bro. And we've seen it. Right? When we lost to remember last year.
Yeah. Okay. Atlanta.
Last year against Miami in the second round. Randle got hurt. And Coach, you remember the the elimination game against Cleveland where Jarrett Allen flagrant fouled Julius Randle, and Randle bruised his wrist and had a bruised sternum on top of the two ankle injuries he had. Mm-hmm. Remember if y'all remember, go back, just Google the dunk, Randle dunking over Jarrett Allen, and it was the filthiest dunk you ever want to see. And instead of Jarrett Allen taking it like a man, right, he basically slammed Randle to the ground, and Randle got a bruise, and Randle was on the ground for a little bit, and then got up, and then his wrist and his sternum was hurt. Coach, you ever fell on your tailbone?
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah. And I said bruised sternum. I meant to say bruised tailbone, everybody. I keep saying sternum. I don't know why I'm saying sternum. But bruised tailbone, right? But that man had already been on an ankle, on two ankle injuries in the same leg. Right? And so the thing about it is Randle does get injured. NBA players get injured, but who's going to play through what? Right? And if you remember game 1 against Miami, Randle sat out. Randle sat that game out, right? And Miami stole the series from there. I don't know if y'all remember that or not, but Miami beat us on our home floor. Right? And we were shocked. Miami basically punched us in the chin, right? and the series was an uphill battle every game after that.
Mm-hmm.
So Randle is a guy that will play through injury, though. Randle, and I'm Randle's number one fan, bro. Nobody defends Julius Randle like me, you know, like I do, right? Because I feel like Randle's place on the Knicks timeline, once we win a championship, we will look at that line of demarcation as the day that turned around the fortunes of the New York Knicks franchise. Right, the summer of 2019, right, when everybody thought we were getting Zion, and as a consolation prize, we would get John Morant, but we got neither. We got RJ Barrett.
We got 4 power forwards.
Yeah, when we got, and then we signed 19 power, like we were going to run the wing T offense or whatever. So like we were going to run the old Stanford Veer offense with 4 fullbacks and 3 tight ends. But anyway, the point that I'm getting at is when Randle got here and won over the roster, like all them guys, Portis, Morris, Gibson, all those guys that came here, Randle was the best player out of that group that they brought in. Right. And the money difference between the players wasn't significant enough to say, well, Randle was the highest player, because Randle made $18 million. Marcus Morris got $15 million after he reneged on San Antonio. He got that 1 year, $15 million. Bobby Portis got a 1+1 for $20 million. Right. So the money wasn't significant enough to say that the highest paid player should have been the best player. Right. But the point that I'm getting at, though, ultimately is thinking that a NBA roster is going to stay healthy because we wish it to stay healthy, I think is dreamy. Fritz, am I wrong on that?
Yeah, that's why they brought in the Dallas guy.
Okay.
And his he's supposed to be like really good at like non-traditional. He's not, his job isn't to just fix the guys when they're hurt. It's like prevent injuries. So what days not to practice, what they what they shouldn't be doing, and like wear over time, like that type of thing.
Okay. Tread. Keeping tread on the tire?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I would say, bro, if that helps us stay healthy, I'm all for it. Coach, if that happens, you're all for it, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, bro. Like legit, just like my only concern though is there have been plenty of teams that made the playoffs that should have championships, and injuries or whatever it is prevent. Yeah, I remember the 2006 Phoenix Suns. Yeah, remember them?
Oh yeah, I love that team.
The Steve Nash, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire. Who were the 2 shooting guards they had? Did they have Michael Petrus? Or was he Golden State? Raja Bell. Remember Raja Bell?
Yeah, Raja Bell. Was Finley? No, Finley was in Dallas. Yeah. They had but they're really good team.
Right. That team probably, Joe Johnson. They had Boris Diaw. Remember Boris Diaw with the Phoenix Suns?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, Eddie House, Jim Jackson.
Sean Marion.
Yeah, that team.
Kurt Thomas was on that team.
Kurt Thomas, the ageless wonder.
Tim Thomas was on there too.
Tim Thomas? Oh wow. That team is probably one that probably could have won championships, right? But if you remember, they always got low neck. Remember Steve Nash got his face broken in their playoffs against
Yep.
San Antonio?
Oh yeah, he's bleeding all over the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah. So when it comes to it, like there are plenty of teams that put together excellent rosters, but managing the injury part of it is a real thing. It's a real thing, man. Managing injury, bro. Y'all remember the upstart Portland Trailblazers that had what's the kid, the light skinned kid at small forward?
Oh,
Number 7, Brandon Roy.
Six. Yep.
They had Brandon Roy. Remember the young Nicholas Batum,
Mm-hmm.
the Kobe stopper, Nicholas Batum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so they have these guys, man. Teams have these rosters, bro. And what prevents them from winning championships is not the competition on the floor, but actually getting to face that competition healthy. Can the Knicks be that team that makes it to the playoffs healthy? So, hey, Coach, what would you suggest is a relatively healthy Knicks squad? Nobody out for the season?
Yeah.
Uh,
If you have a guy that's day to day, one of your starters, major rotation guys,
Right.
I mean,
no
consider that
nagging
relatively
injuries.
healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm not
Injuries,
expecting. Yeah, things are going to happen. I'm not expecting. We've used up 3 years worth of important injuries, man.
Yeah.
I mean, no one. There's not one team in the league that's built to lose 1 or 2 major starters and go as far as we did.
Right.
And let's face it, if we had just one of the guys we were supposed to have back, we win that Pacers series. We had Anunoby back, we had Randle back. One of them are back, we win that series. We have both of them. It doesn't go to game 7.
Right.
We have both of them. We don't get swept by Boston like Indiana did. So
Yeah, we can't have any regular season games where you look at the stat sheet and somebody played 46 minutes. It just, yeah, I think that's out. That's done.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll allow that anymore. Like, yeah,
I think the middle to the end of our bench has improved enough where some of those guys can play now.
Okay.
They have to. Like the drop off was so severe after Josh Hart. It was just like, screw it, sleep him in.
Right.
We got to get these wins, you know. But now, if one of the guys is a little banged up, I'm okay with putting in Vince Diop.
He's a rotational.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's a rotational player, bro. He's gonna have a hard time finding minutes here, though.
Yeah,
Consistently.
no, I agree. But I think we're 10, 11 deep enough to where if 1 or 2 guys are banged up or need a break, everyone get pushed up a spot. I just think it'll be business as usual still.
Right. Yeah, I would. Yeah, quite frankly, if there was a thing that is maybe a spur, if there was anything that was a hitch in my giddy up, it would be a second difference maker in the ball handling group. And I don't mean a body. I'm not just talking about a dude, right? I'm not talking about just a guy, a substitute teacher. I think the roster right now is built perfect for today's NBA, right? Today's NBA, right? Not when Pat played, not when Willis Reed played, not when Dwight Howard played, not when Ben Wallace played, but for today's NBA of pace and space, I think the roster is built perfectly outside of a second ball handler in the group that's a difference maker. And I mean not holding it down, not net neutral, not a guy that's, was a part of the guy matchup on another team. I mean, legit you can play him and Jalen Brunson together at the same time and be dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a Jordan Clarkson. A Jordan Clarkson.
Not even a Jordan Clarkson, bro.
Not even.
Nope. I ain't talking about not even a Jordan Clarkson, because even though he's an upgrade over Cameron Payne in terms of playmaking in my mind, I'm talking about Anthony Simons. That type of guy.
You would need to clear out
a CJ McCollum type. Right.
Yeah, you couldn't play him.
Yeah. What I'm saying is
now when you talking about messing with Dante.
No. I'm not saying that, because ultimately Dante could Dante become that.
I mean, I think
he could play point
guard. I think Dante has a skill set. Like, even though he's a little erratic on finishing sometimes with layups,
yeah,
but he can definitely slash, get to the rim. He's athletic enough and explosive enough.
And the reason why I say Dante, the reason why I say I ask is if Dante can become that and not Jordan Clarkson, is because Jordan Clarkson's about to turn 33, and you already know what he is. He's a very streaky shooter, offensive bucket getter that creates space, and depending on what night it is, he can get you 30 or he can shoot you out of a game. Right? I'm talking about a guy that can play with Brunson and be the focal point while Brunson plays off ball for a few moments to save Miles on his legs. Or when Brunson goes to the bench, the Knicks offense doesn't stall. I'm talking about that type of guy, like
Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
Jamal Crawford back in the day. Yeah.
And here's my thing with it. Are those guys cheap in two senses?
Nope.
Are they cheap? Are they cheap to acquire, and is their salary cheap? No and no.
Nope.
Because everybody appreciates their skill set. Right? Everybody appreciates their skill set. They know the guy they know that the guy can come in and be effective as the off the ball guy, where Jalen Brunson won't get blitzed on every time. Bro, when you watch the playoffs, did y'all notice how teams defended us? They took their small forward, right, off of a guy and put him on Jalen Brunson, let that player harass Jalen Brunson all the way up the floor. Jalen Brunson crosses the timeline, and then they send the blitz to get the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about a guy that lets Jalen Brunson come up the floor, and he can be the guy that just crosses the timeline, get us into an offense. Nothing's there. Give it to Brunson, and then Brunson can do his Brunson burner if our offense is not effective.
Yeah, that's the reason Deuce isn't just that one detail is the reason. Deuce's spot is in question.
Yeah,
right, and that's my only look. If somehow Deuce goes into the lab and the gym this offseason and finds a handle and distributes well, like naturally, it's point guardness is supposed to be, then all this other talk about him being trade bait and by campaign, we don't need you.
Yeah.
But there's with who we brought in, with who we signed, who's coming back from injury, with Dante going and Josh going down to the bench. If the Knicks truly believed in Miles McBride to be the point guard, we wouldn't have signed campaign.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, we're not disputing that, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of people disputing that.
But to just to real quick, not to cut you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you remember when during the season at the buyout market, people were asking me if the Knicks should sign Kyle Lowry, right? And I may have been on record saying yes because of depth, but now that I have time to think about it, no. We don't need a Kyle Lowry type. We don't need a point guard size guy playing off the ball. We already have that in Deuce.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Kyle Lowry is not your traditional playmaker at the point. You remember they won a championship because they had Fred VanVleet. Right? And I'm not saying that they won a championship because of Fred VanVleet, but the addition of what he brings to the table, you know, along with Kawhi Leonard being an android, is why they won the championship. So if you're at so for everybody that's trying to figure out what it is that I'm looking for specifically, right? I'm looking for a guy that can create for himself and others, that can get you into offense, right? On some nights he can get you 20, right? On other nights he'll be the decoy where Brunson gives you 40, and he is just the decoy to keep the defenses honest against Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So ideally it would be, and I know this is out of the question, but just so that you can follow my train of thought, ideally it would be DeJounte Murray, a DeJounte Murray type, right? That could play the point, that can play the two, right? That defends a little bit. And I know DeJounte Murray is not perfect. What I'm trying to illustrate is a guy that can be the point guard when our point guard needs to be the two guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. When Luka just needs moments to just get his breath, you know what I'm saying? Kyrie is a dynamic replacement at point guard.
I think Cameron Payne can do that with Brunson. Cameron Payne can bring the ball up the court and let Brunson set up. But see, this is what people don't understand. Miles McBride is actually the insurance for Mikal, OG, and Randle. I'll tell you why. If Randle gets hurt again for some reason or misses time, OG goes to the 4, Mikal goes to the 3, Dante goes to the 2, and now Miles McBride is the backup 2. He's that insurance. Same thing down the line. If OG gets hurt, McBride goes to the 3, Dante goes up, or Hart goes up to the 3, and whatever. If Mikal gets hurt, like when Dante or Josh has to move the starting lineup, injury or a rest situation, then Miles McBride is de facto, next guy up on the bench. So that's why McBride is still floating around. For anyone else that thinks he's floating around because he's Brunson's real backup, they're mistaken.
Yeah. Well, the Knicks gave up that guy a couple of years ago. They gave up Derrick Rose a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He was kind of that guy.
Yeah.
He was.
The thing is I want to keep him for the reasons I just said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think there's other pieces on this roster and or with our youngins, and we have a $5 million whatever to spend on somebody. If we do have to get someone at center, we might not have to get rid of Miles Bryant. But I'm telling you right now, Tyler Kolek is tailor-made for the thing we're talking about. That dude brings it. I don't see him having a hard time bringing the ball to the court on anybody. And he doesn't do it down the damn sideline like our all-star does sometimes. Cole goes right up the center of the court. Now, granted, it was against summer leagues. I get it. But you can't teach it. I guess you can teach it, but he just does it naturally. I just think that Tyler Kolek, we're going to hear from him sooner than some people think. I just don't think, like, why didn't we do some of these point guard things last year or the year before? Brunson. Think about it. What were we waiting for?
I'm confused to what to. You're asking why do we do it?
But Brunson hasn't had a real backup, and we haven't drafted point guard since Brunson's been here.
Well, we've been killing them. We've been playing them. What? 38. We've been playing them like 38 minutes a game.
I know that, but what I'm saying is we haven't had. Well, why are we doing it now then?
I don't know if that's a fair question to ask, and in a general sense, because here's the thing: Jalen Brunson has been here for 2 seasons, and in one of those seasons, we drafted Tyler Kolek.
Yeah, at the end of the second one.
Right, but it's still 2 seasons, like 2 seasons. Because the question was asked, why haven't we drafted a point guard? Right. What the thing is
we got him before the draft.
Who before the draft?
We got Brunson before the draft last year. We signed him, didn't we? So that draft, there were 2 drafts before this draft.
So we got him after the draft because we drafted Trevor Keels and then signed Jalen Brunson in July.
What I didn't know. I wasn't sure if we signed him in July or I don't know if it was before or after.
Yeah, well, it became official and it becomes official in July. So, but to your point, I understand what you're saying. So what I'm saying to that question, Coach, is in the one instance you secure your point guard of the future first, right? Mm-hmm. Like in season 1, you secure your franchise point guard. You get Jalen Brunson, right?
Knicks try to double down. They try to get Jaden Ivey at the same time.
And so at the same time, yeah. And
they tried.
And tried to get Donovan Mitchell also.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach LaVine also. So, but to Coach's question, I understand that it's a legitimate question and concern. Because when he asked it, I was like, damn, that's a good ass question. Right. But then when I thought about the series of events is the thing that I want to clarify. Like, so you don't get your point guard in the draft, but you do get Jalen Brunson in free agency. And he plays out that first season. Emmanuel Quickley is the backup. Right? You have Emmanuel Quickley and you have Deuce. You have Burke.
Yeah, but Emmanuel Quickley was just a 6'3" Deuce. Because he has the same shortcomings as Deuce had. Handling the ball, distributing. I'm saying?
I don't know if I see it. I don't know.
And technically, Deuce was this year, Deuce is a better shooter than IQ ever was for us. This past year. And his defense.
Yeah, they ain't the same player, bro. I ain't going down that road with you. Deuce McBride can't carry Emmanuel Quickley bag, bro.
I'm just saying, no. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Their ability to play point guard or what they're lacking at point guard or similar. Is IQ a distributor? Is IQ a natural ball handler bringing up the court? He's probably better than McBride at that. But he's not a confident distributor yet. Is he their starting point guard next year?
Man, the Raptors gave him the bag to be their starting point guard of the future.
I thought he's their starting too.
No. They have a dude named Grady Dick, bro. They trying to break in, bro. They have him and they have a bunch of other dudes.
Grady Dick can handle the ball though. Grady Dick does some point guard stuff.
I pegged him as a shooter.
And there's a reason why Toronto was second to last on your team list. Because IQ's their point guard.
No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, I think you're being unreasonable for it. Just being unreasonable.
Here we go. Now you're bringing up all the little IQ lovers in chat.
No, this ain't the code. This don't even. Yo, you assuming what I'm about to say. You won't even listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the reason why they suck is because they traded two of their franchise pillars. You didn't see them trade OG Anunoby? You were not aware that they traded OG Anunoby to somebody. You were not aware that they traded Pascal Siakam to somebody. You were not aware that Scotty Barnes, their best player, missed significant time towards the end of the season. You didn't see all that stuff.
Of course I did.
Right. It's not fit. Man, there is no universe where Deuce McBride and Emmanuel Quickley are in the same stratosphere. For one, Deuce McBride came from a college. He was coached up by a guy that doesn't train his point guard to be a floor general distributor. Bobby Huggins and other point guard and other guys like him, they train their point guards to be Kyle Lowry type, right?
You're putting words in my mouth. I'm not comparing the two. I'm comparing one part of their game. That's all I'm comparing.
You didn't hear my point though, right? You ain't want to listen to. You ain't want to listen to my point.
But you're rambling on the point.
I'm not rambling on, bro. Everything I said
triggered by the fault of you thinking.
Everything I said was legitimate, bro.
It is legitimate, but what I'm saying is you're saying all these points like as a pushback.
You were not aware that Toronto traded OG Anunoby to somebody.
If that's the point you're going to make, you're just being sarcastic. Obviously,
no, I'm not being sarcastic. You told me that Toronto was at the bottom of my ranking for a reason. And the reason
this year,
they traded OG Anunoby last year and they didn't replace him. They traded Pascal Siakam last year and didn't replace him.
Okay, so
you want to be right in the conversation? There you go, bro. You're right.
That's not what I'm disputing. I'm not valuing IQ as a point guard running an NBA offense as a starting point guard because he's not a point guard in the NBA. That's my opinion.
Right.
He lacks the point guard skills that I like to require from point guards on my teams. In the same way that Miles McBride lacks point guard skills. Now he does other things that have value. He gets buckets. He can get his own shot off. Apparently that's the new point guard today. I don't like it. I like point guards to do point guard things. Like pass well. And not get a lot of turnovers. And get his teammates off. That's what I like point guards to do. I guess that makes me old-fashioned.
So, Fritz, Scotty Barnes got hurt March 1st against Golden State. He didn't play another game for the rest of the season. He missed 22 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
So, in theory, Toronto lost Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, and Pascal Siakam for the season. Two were traded. One guy was out due to injury. Right? And in that stretch, Emmanuel Quickley was their starting point guard. There is no world whatsoever that Deuce McBride is going to be in anybody's conversation for a starting point guard. Any not a franchise point guard, bro. It just don't happen that way, bro. It just don't. That's the point that I was getting at, is not to argue with Coach over Emmanuel Quickly's value. The point that I was trying to get to is in that year one, like when Coach said in the 2 years that Jalen Brunson has been here, the Knicks hadn't found a guy. And so the point that I was trying to get to is in that first year, they were trying to figure it out with Deuce and Quickly. Clearly, it didn't work in that first year. In the second year, you saw guys like Alec Burks get point guard minutes. But Alec Burks is not a long-term solution, right? So then you draft Tyler Kolek this year and you bring in Cameron Payne. Clearly, the Knicks see the point guard situation as a place that needs to be upgraded. It's the reason why they bring in Cameron Payne. And Cameron Payne, for the most part, is not a guy that's going to be the long-term solution. In the 7 years he's been in the league, he shot 42% or less in 7 of those seasons. And he's not a high assist guy either. But he can play make with second units. So to coach's statement about nobody legitimate being a compliment or a backup to Jalen Brunson, we all know that. To us, that's open-ended. Like that riddle hadn't been solved yet. So we know that. We know going forward, we have to find that guy. And it's the reason why I brought up the point that that's the only thing. I think that the Knicks have a competitive NBA championship type roster. The only question I have is that the playmaking. The same thing that Coach said is the same thing I was saying.
Yeah. Well, the Knicks, for the whole 3 years, the Knicks have been searching. They haven't stopped searching.
Right.
Even this year, even this summer, they were kept trying to get Tyus Jones, and it just ain't happened. So I mean, I don't think that's their first choice. They're gonna just keep looking until they have someone in budget. Yeah.
And the difficult part of that is now that you have your money locked up in a certain way, it makes your search more difficult because now you don't have all the draft picks that you once had to swing and miss and keep trying until you find your guy. So you don't have those draft picks to play with. And then you have the salary constraints where you can't just solve the puzzle. You can't just throw money at it. So now we have to bring in a guy and hope we catch lightning in a bottle with a veteran, whether it's short-term or long-term, or draft a guy and bring him along slowly and let him be the long-term solution to a problem that existed for 3 or 4 years. Because clearly Deuce is not it.
Well, that's what I was kind of alluding to. That's like Cameron Payne fills the point guard limitations that Deuce has until Tyler Kolek's ready. That's why I was saying he's like the bridge. He's the bridge to the backup point guard answer, which doesn't mean buy Deuce. I told you what Deuce's value is. You know,
yeah,
he's still a good spot up 3 shooter and a great perimeter defender. There might be some games in a couple series where Deuce is gonna have to D up a really athletic point guard for us. You know?
Yeah.
So he has value. I don't want to just discard the guy. The only thing I said he was expendable for me was a really one of those 3 sexy centers we were thinking about getting. The Walker Kesslers of the world, or the Mark Williams, or Duran, or Nick Richards, or something. other than that, Deuce stays.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Deuce McBride having a roster spot. I don't even have a problem with him playing. I just think that we have a legitimate, and the thing is, we're figuring it out during the summertime, and we won't be able to see the answers for it until the season starts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you saw with your own eyes in round one, Kelly Oubre all over Jalen Brunson from the time he took the ball out until the time he got rid of the ball. And then in the second round, you saw Aaron Nesmith do the same thing.
The amount of times Jalen Brunson was on the floor, like hit the floor because they were like bum rushing him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the Knicks didn't have a viable option. Like, for instance, they tried to pass the ball up the floor, and Jericho Sims took an 8-second count, didn't cross. Jericho Sims didn't have a player within 15 feet of him, and all he had to do was dribble 7 feet to get the ball across the line. And he's a 7-footer or 6'10", whatever you want to call him. And Tibbs was screaming no to Jericho, and they took an 8-second violation instead of Jericho Sims dribbling 7 feet. That's how puzzling the ball handling situation was at times. Now, with OG Anunoby in the fold, you'll have a guy that can handle the ball. With Randle loves to do that kind of stuff against other power forwards. But ultimately, if Deuce is to earn his keep, Deuce has to be that guy. If not, we can find a 6'2" athlete that can defend and knock down open threes from anywhere. We could get anybody for that. Right? You can find guys maybe even taller than 6'2". Right? Deuce has to be at 6'2" has to do standard NBA 6'2" player stuff. Like being good at some things is just not gonna. And if you look at the Kyle Lowry model, like when we were defending Philly full court, if y'all remember, Kyle Lowry was running down the court. Kyle Lowry don't do that stuff. And you know what happened to Philly? They got beat in the first round. I think the Kyle Lowry model of guard is very niche, right? Like you legit have to have wings and bigs and a lot of people that can dribble, pass, and shoot so that Kyle Lowry can be off the ball. The only reason Kyle Lowry is labeled a point guard is because he's short. That's about it.
Yeah, because he plays bigger than Brunson because of his athleticism. He's got some lift. He's fast. He's an athlete. I'm not doubting that. Like his athleticism is what's, that's why he's such a good defender. Yeah, he's strong. And we've all talked about this. He's meant to be. I mean, if he was 6'4", 6'5", you got another wing defender.
Right. Right. I think that's going to be troublesome for us too. I think that's going to be troublesome for us in that it's going to be hard. And Coach, to your point, I think it's going to be hard finding those minutes for him because how do you justify taking some Mikal Bridges minutes away to let Deuce play?
I know. Dante's minute.
I mean, you don't. You don't take Dante's minutes.
Right, like Like whose minutes are you? Are you going to take Cameron Payne's minutes away and then play 3 point guards? Like for those 14 minutes, are you going to play Deuce 10 and Cameron Payne 4? Do you give all those minutes to Deuce? Do you give them all to Cameron Payne? Then you let a young player rot on the bench? It's a fascinating question to ask, and I hate for it to be like we're poisoning the well on Deuce. I'm not. But in this leap from year 3 to year 4, Deuce McBride is on the clock. Like Deuce has to legit take that next step. Because if he doesn't take that next step from year 3 to year 4, and what I mean by next step is not shoot the ball more, because that's not how you show improvement. I mean, you can be a better scorer or whatever, right? But can he get the Knicks organized and into offense, right? Playing point guard is a hard job. But when you spend 3 years in college and 3 years in the pros, so you have your 6 years out of high school, the excuse can't be I'm a developing young player anymore. Coach, do you think he can do it? Am I too down on Deuce?
I mean, point guard's not the kind of position to start. That's like someone that hasn't played QB all through college and 3 years in the pros, and then all of a sudden you're going to be a QB this year.
It's a tough task, right?
It's something you come up doing.
Right.
Like if those skills aren't in his bag already, those aren't natural skills that you just acquire in the offseason. And the thing is, we're not arguing if Miles McBride is better, quote unquote, than Cam Payne.
Right.
Like Deuce is a more valuable all-around player than Cam Payne. I'm not discrediting that. But as far as point guard duties and what's needed from the point guard at times, there's 2 or 3 things that Cameron Payne does better than Miles McBride. It's the same argument we have about Mitch at the center position. There's things that he is elite at. He's an elite.
Right. And for the most,
he's elite at. Sorry, I messed up. Like Mitch is elite at the rim, and he's an elite offensive rebound. But he's got some shortcomings compared to other centers or some other stuff. The same thing with Miles McBride. He's almost an elite perimeter, like on the ball defender.
Right.
And last year he stepped up to be an above average spot up 3-point shooter. But there's other shortcomings he has. I mean, that's why he's a rotational player and not a starting point guard in the NBA. So, and then, like I said, it's not a knock on Miles McBride. It's not saying I think Cameron Payne's better. Cameron Payne does things that we need him to do when Brunson isn't in the game.
Yo, I read this comment, bro, and it's making me laugh, right? Hey, salute to Bizza. Hey, salute, right? He says he don't defend better or shoot better. He won't be needed to be. Yeah, well, Deuce is a good defender, and his shot has been getting better. That's not what we're saying. But here's the thing. He won't be needed to QB the offense because a shooting guard and power forward will be out there doing the point guard stuff. Y'all smoking. legit, the comment is he won't need it to be the QB of the offense and do point guard stuff because a shooting guard and power forward will be out there doing point guard stuff.
So the thing that everyone, this whole universe, whined and complained about, Randle being the point forward. We're gonna go back to that again.
Yeah, and it's not that, bro, and it's not
Dante
that.
hasn't done it yet since he's been with us. I know he's got the skills to do it, ability, but he hasn't really. He's had a chance to be that guy with the second unit a few times.
Bro, yeah, it's. I understand, Coach. I understand that Randle is health willing. Everybody's going to be on the floor and playing their roles, right? But what I'm getting at though, ultimately, is the guys that traditionally fill certain traditional roles should be able to do traditional stuff.
I think Midzak is Deuce McBride.
No, I think he's passionate about Deuce, and I am too. I think Midzak is passionate about Deuce, and I am too, bro. I don't want to see Deuce go nowhere. That's why when Coach bring up Cameron Payne, I always bring up Deuce, right? And I know it seems weird. It's like,
how many other ways can I explain my appreciation for what Deuce brings? And I'm only pointing out what he's lacking. It doesn't mean I want to get rid of the guy or think he sucks.
I know, but everybody's trying to find.
We would have never got Cameron Payne. Because if that was the case, we insert him at point guard and let Tyler Cole go behind him. Why do we get the campaign then?
Yeah, but everybody's trying to find like redeeming qualities about Deuce, even though he can't do the thing that we needed him to do. If you can use him to fill a need somewhere else, then that's the guy you use, because he's the one guy that you can lose.
And the thing is, in my eyes, Cameron Payne and Miles McBride play different positions. That's my point.
How many shooting guards you need? How many shooting guards do you need?
on this team, we need 3. Because I mean, Mikal Bridges is a
wing player.
He's a wing. He's he's a de facto shooting guard because we have OG already.
I know, but you legit have 2 guys at shooting guard who literally could play 30 minutes a game.
Right. Okay.
And then now you trying to force the third in there.
Well, I told you why they kept him, because unfortunately, one of the guys hasn't proved he doesn't miss games that much yet.
Yeah, that's
OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
And so Miles McBride goes to the 3 and Dante starts. And now Miles McBride is the second guard, shooting guard. That's why that's where his value is.
Right.
But if you see him as a shooting guard, you're only really going to use him when there's injuries.
But the thing is, it's not that I'm seeing him as he's presenting himself as one. It's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass.
So you move him if he's the one piece that's expendable.
But that's the thing. But see, that's where I think Fritz's thing has maybe a hole in it, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're expendable for what though? Like why
for something you need? No, but not. I'm just not moving him because I'm not moving him because I want to move him.
But I'm asking you, what do you find?
Who else could you trade? And like, that's not
what I'm asking you. I think you're presumptuous in this state. What I'm asking is this: If there is a need significant enough for you to trade Deuce at this point, why wasn't it addressed earlier? Like, what is the need so pressing that you couldn't address it at the draft and at the beginning of free agency? Is it backup center?
Because Hartenstein held up a lot. Hartenstein held up a lot. To get Hartenstein back, it would have took everything. It would have took everything. So he held a lot back.
In position, but the Knicks were never in a reasonable position to keep Hartenstein. Yeah. We all know that. And we know that because hindsight is 2020. I'm not saying that I knew it at the time. What I'm saying is hindsight is 2020 on a Hartenstein thing. Right? We were never going to beat out Orlando or OKC.
Yeah, they had a hope and a wish, and it didn't happen. But
so they gambled and lost, right?
Gambled and lost, and it held up our free agency for so long that using Deuce early, you couldn't do it.
Right. So are you saying that? And let me be clear. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Why you're making Deuce expended? You think that we can trade Deuce McBride for a starting NBA center?
And in himself, no, but he can be part of a package.
Deuce is not the only
someone
one
who can be an eventual starter. For someone who can be an eventual starter.
So Deuce is not the only entity that's expendable then.
No, we have picks. And yeah, we have small contracts.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So it's not just a Deuce is expendable thing. It's a greater team need thing. And you would use Deuce because he's the most attractive.
He's the first thing when people would ask for. It'd be like nothing else. Those protected picks don't have much value.
Right.
Those protected picks don't have. So if you're going to get someone who can be an eventual starter, the first thing in the conversation is Deuce.
Okay, so it's not necessarily what Deuce does on the floor for the Knicks. It's what other NBA franchises value more.
Yeah, they'll value it. Okay, but if I take Deuce out of the equation,
right,
does that change our whole approach in offense? No. It doesn't change anything. Like, do you think with Deuce or without Deuce, do you think our chances for an NBA championship is different?
It depends on what you get for Deuce.
Yeah. But I mean, in that sense, but like
because if you trade Deuce for a young Hartenstein, then of course,
yeah, his value in trade is bigger than his value on the roster.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, what happens is we move the conversation to what Deuce can and can't do on the floor to how other NBA organizations value Deuce McBride, and that's not the road we were going down. We were actually talking about, can Deuce develop these traits and be that guy that we described about 30 minutes ago? And Coach and I both agree that he is what he is right now.
Yeah, he is what he is, but we're trying to win right now.
Understood. I'm with you.
Yeah. So we don't have, two more years to see if Deuce can learn how to dribble.
I think you absolutely have 2 more years. Right, because the thing is if your championship window solely hinges on your 9th guy, then players 1 through 8 are flawed.
I know, but
that's what I've been trying to chime in and say here.
I know, but insulating. Okay, you need to insulate Brunson from injury. That's one thing. I don't think Deuce does that. Deuce doesn't shore up that. If Brunson fell out half the season, we're a playing team.
If Brunson is hurt,
Brunson's hurt half the season.
This year?
Yeah.
He's out half the season.
I disagree
You
with
think
that.
we're a playing team?
Nah, we ain't no playing team, bro. I think the Knicks still winning 50 games and high stepping all the way there.
Half a season?
Half the season, 41 games.
Look what Orlando's doing without a center. You mean to tell me the rest of our team isn't as good or better than Orlando without going on?
I mean, no, but if you had like a legit point guard, it's like, hey, if Brunson fell off, the Brunson was out 41 games, someone who can hold down that position.
No, but I'm saying Orlando games. Was.
We don't have that guy. And Deuce
guard.
Isn't that guy.
No, I'm saying that if Jalen Brunson slips on a banana peel in September and he's out until All-Star break, I think the Knicks are still on pace to win 50 games.
Wow.
And the reason being is
crazy. That's big. That's big.
I think you're being short-sighted. I think you're being short-sighted and on the thing, and no disrespect, but Julius Randle made the All-Star team before Jalen Brunson even got a Knicks jersey. OG Anunoby was a great player before Jalen Brunson even got a Knicks jersey. Mikal Bridges was a quality NBA player that played in the NBA Finals before Jalen Brunson got an NBA jersey, bro. Got a Knicks jersey, bro. What I'm saying, will we miss Brunson? Yes. But I think the front office built the team in a way where regardless who the player is that misses significant time, whether it's Mikal Bridges, who never gets injured, whether it's Jalen Brunson, whether it's Randle, the team is built now to withstand torpedo blows to the hull of your ship. Right? I know Jalen Brunson is a great player. He's probably a top 10 player in the NBA, but the Knicks now have their players 2 through 7 on their roster are all top 100 players.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then if you think about similar things like addition by subtraction without and no disrespect to Jalen Brunson, but if Jalen Brunson misses time, our defense gets abundantly better off rip because the weakest defender on the team is no longer on the floor. Now, where do you get scoring from? Right? Like, where do you get scoring from to stem the tide of Jalen Brunson's 30 points a game that he'll probably do this year? Bro, all you have to do is distribute shots to dudes that like to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask, hey, like, Jew, man, we need for you to take 2 or 3 more shots a game until Brunson get back. You think he gonna turn that down? No. That's like asking coach, we got this dime. She's a brunette. I mean, you wanted a brunette, but we found out she was actually blonde. Should we send her back? No. I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
Like, here's also the other thing. I know it's a smaller sample size, but remember when we had Randle and OG and all them together? This was without Mitch. We had an 84% win percentage. You know, in a full season, that translates to 68 wins.
Yeah.
Okay,
68.
so,
wow. Whoa. 68?
Yeah. So if Brunson, God forbid, gets hurt, I mean, that's 50 wins, so 18 less wins. So, like, and now we added Mikal Bridges.
And you add Mikal Bridges. Yeah.
And now basically Mitch is in place of Hart.
Yeah.
Mitch, whatever you want to call it, the even swap. Yeah, Hart did some things better. Mitch does some things better. Whatever. It's a wash, empty. But I mean,
the thing about Brunson is I'm not saying that Brunson is not a great player. I think he absolutely is. But what I don't want to call him is a savior. Like, we're not going to win a championship because Jalen Brunson is here. We're going to win a championship because we're going to beat teams with strength by numbers. Like, we're going to have legit 6 dudes outside of Brunson that are going to be great NBA players. Right. That's just if Brunson misses time, no team is gonna be at their best if their best player is out due to injury. But unlike other teams, I think Dante, Josh, Randall, OG, Mikal Bridges, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, Cameron Payne, all those guys, that's a quality playoff roster even without Jalen Brunson. Do we need Jalen Brunson? Absolutely. Are we a lottery team if Jalen Brunson goes down? No, come on, man. What are we doing? We anointing people.
No, I didn't say lottery. Like playing team.
No, we ain't no playing team, bro. I mean,
so
Jalen Brunson goes down, and we're the Chicago Bulls. Oh, the Atlanta Hawks. Those were the two playing teams last year. Those were the two playoff teams, playing teams. So
you realize, the best player ever left for a season, and the Bulls still won 50 games following the season.
Yeah, because they were a championship contender.
Like we're only talking like this because we feel what we built with around Brunson right now is that high quality. We wouldn't be talking like this if it was Brunson and Randle and a bunch of scrubs.
Right.
We'd be like, okay, we're gonna be competitive, but we wouldn't be talking no chip. I mean, I'm gonna root for him to do it, but I'm gonna be realistic about it. But because now we got OG and Mikal Bridges, now Dante and Josh are coming off the bench. And fingers crossed, Mitch is gonna play a whole season for once. Woo! Like, there's nowhere else to think but that. I'm just being a basketball realist. You know how many times I've set myself up for failure as a fan with this damn team? Don't even get me started, bro.
Yeah, and I don't want to call this dude a savior, bro. I
mean, he was just last year. What he did, he took the first step towards it. That's for sure. Now, we still would have found a way to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals when all this stuff happened. Not quicker to say savior stuff, but I'm pumping the brakes till now this season. If it don't happen, I don't know, man.
Coach, to your point, this the reason why I don't want to call him a savior, right? Because what happens if we don't achieve our lofty goals? In my mind, and that's rhetorical. I'm sorry, everybody. I asked a rhetorical question on the panel, but if we don't, if this team led by Jalen Brunson doesn't achieve its lofty goals, the ones that anoint Jalen Brunson the savior are going to point to others on the roster and say, ship them out of town. They're not good enough. It happens all the time. Instead of the guy that gets all the glory when we win, when we lose, they point at other people, right? Like, yo, we got to trade Mitch. Mitch didn't hit that one bunny when he was smothered in the paint. And then you look at the shot chart and Jalen Brunson missed 17 shots, but he hit 4 3-pointers and it's all good.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Reason you had mentioned something a few nights ago, or it might have been a week or two ago. I don't know. Time just flies for us. Are we forgetting how much our owner loves Julius Randle?
No.
Do we forget he was all NBA before Brunson got here? Are we not? How come no one has talked about this? Maybe we brought Brunson in, all these guys to help Randle. Has no one even thought of that? Think about it. Because the first year when they both played together full time, Randle was still the leading scorer.
Yeah.
He was on the way to that last year until he got hurt.
Yeah.
then that's when Brunson had to step up what he needed to step up.
And he stepped up in a major way too, by the way. Want to give him credit. Want to give him credit.
Hell yeah.
Fridge, you want to rebut that though?
Rebut what?
The Brunson is not a savior thing. Is Brunson a savior?
I don't think any.
Not in the spirit, not in the spiritual sense, bro. I'm not talking about
but like there's only a few teams that are like, Miami is like one of those teams where everything runs through one player, and but
the franchise lives and dies with the result.
Lives and dies on but I just think the Knicks still got work. Knicks still got work to do.
Okay.
I can't look at this roster and say, hey, we set, because we not.
And like I love how because Randle got hurt this past year, all of a sudden Jalen Brunson just leapfrogged. Like until Brunson got here, Randle has been the best player the Knicks have had since
Melo.
And honestly, some can argue Randle's a better Knick than Melo was as far as what he did for the team success. Yeah, Melo scored a lot. He was up in the top 3, top 4 in scoring that year. But what did he produce playoff-wise for us? Now, granted, he was going against some killer competition at the time.
Okay.
But everyone wants to say Brunson's been the best since Ewing. I mean, what about Brunson's? He's not the best since Randle yet. He's only been technically above Randle this past year because of what he did after Randle got hurt.
He did step up big, though. He stepped up in a major way.
Just like, look how Randle stepped up the bubble year when he got third in the MVP vote.
Yeah.
I mean, he stepped up too.
Right.
We haven't seen, how about this? We haven't seen full-on Randle with this version of Brunson now. Maybe Randle's all of a sudden to be even more nuts this year. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
With this roster, and he can have another one of his 24, 10, and 6 years easily. Because a lot of those assists are going to be going in with this group. He had 6 assists kicking it out. Freaking Elfrid Payton and
right.
And they're dumping it to Nerlens Noel. And I mean, come on, man. What are we talking about? It's like I just don't understand how Randle gets so dismissed so quickly just because he got a little salty a couple times and he had a less than ideal playoff series, and then the other one he was banged up. And all of a sudden, Randle's sucks. He did something that only Wilt, Oscar Robertson, Larry Bird, Russell Westbrook, and Giannis did. All MVPs. Randle's the only one that's done what they did. 24, 10, and 6. So I think he's going to do that this year. I think maybe the only part that he might not obtain is maybe the rebounds. He might get 8 or 9. But I think he's going to get 6 assists. game. I think that's almost a lock.
Okay. Fritz, what you thinking, bro?
On his numbers?
No, on the you mentioned that you think the roster is not set, but you
I
didn't
don't think it's set.
elaborate on.
I
Right.
don't think it's set. I think the needs are. It's too iffy right now. Like the roster is too iffy. I don't think they would go into the year with that center position the way it is. I don't think they will.
Do you realize a Randle led? Like, you mean to tell me Randle leading Nerlens Noel's at center and all those other guys he led to the 4 seed? He couldn't. With Brunson hurt, he couldn't help lead this team. The rest of them we have that. Come on, think about it.
Okay, so from what? Okay, just my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks shouldn't have trust in Robinson maintaining health. They should be prepared for worst case scenario.
That's what GMs do.
Who would you rather have at the in an emergency situation? Who would you rather have at the 5? Precious Achiuwa or Nerlens Noel?
It's not. We had zero expectations. Like this is, we have all the expectations right now. And I think you have to go into the year. You have to go into the year not leaning on Robinson.
I confused it all there, bud.
Yeah, I don't think you can trust it. Yeah, I just can't.
And did that team Randle led to the 4 seed have an OG Anunoby? They have a Mikal Bridges. They have Dante. Did they have a Josh Smith?
The expectations weren't there. Expectations are here.
We're not talking about expectations. We're talking about results.
I know, but back then it didn't matter. Like they were going to go out there and they're going to see what happens. Like I don't think the Knicks are in a spot where the expectation is so high. The Knicks, I don't think, will go into the year and say, "Hey, the center spot is just very unsettled, and we'll just see what's going to happen." I just don't think that's the situation
we're. So, what do you think?
I know. I think there's going to be an upgrade.
What is your opinion?
A little upgrade.
Yeah,
they're going to be a little upgrade now, and then mid-season they're going to do another upgrade.
What I'm saying is, until December, you just think we're going to deal some fingers on Mitch. Hopefully, Sims and committee and an occasional Precious can fill in till December. Is that what you're saying?
I just don't see them leaving up the chance. I don't see them leaving up the chance, and just hoping it holds together.
Right.
I mean, like you can wait like right now, they have the contract so that in December they can make a trade, but I'm not sure if they're going to wait that long.
So,
I mean, it could be a signing too. It doesn't like they have to do a trade, but it could be a signing that they just get another center that they just have a little bit more confidence in.
Right. I think because look, we went on a couple little. We had a few successful games here and there with Sims and Precious having to do the center position for a few games and everyone else is playing out of their minds. So that's why I think the rest of our team is so good this year that we can withstand moments of not having Brunson or not having a 5.
Yeah.
Because now we have 4 to 5 guys that can go off that we can get away with. Randle having a rough night or Brunson having a rough night. We got other guys that can go off now.
Mm-hmm.
So
also, yeah,
good teams can withstand those moments. Championship teams are built in a way where they don't count on one guy or 2 guys.
Yeah.
That's why I have this confidence I have in this team right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, also the Knicks didn't give Precious a contract that shows that they believe in Precious. Like they gave him a contract that's that he's gonna be traded.
Calculated gymnastics at work, baby.
They pretty much set him up to be traded. They set him up to be traded. So if they had so much faith in him, that wouldn't have been the contract they gave.
Oh boy, here we go. Hey, pull out your sliding rulers, everybody. It's time for math. Yeah, man. Coach, you distracted, bro? What you taking notes? Oh, you in the chat?
I'm trying to keep my cool from Cappy Capperson in chat.
Oh boy! Salute, Trey in the building. Salute, Queens, get the money. Salute, yo. If we had an air horn, I would. Do we have an air horn? Coach, do we have an air horn, bro? Oh boy!
Something like
I want to block them, but it's kind of funny to look at someone.
You talking about the air horn?
Burn.
Yeah. No. I was gonna ask you, Freezy. I think that the East might be top heavy, but I think the top 8-ish teams are really good. And I think we're one of those teams where you say strength in numbers is what makes us most effective.
Right.
But a lot of these teams in the East, like if they're healthy, I think if we're missing a key cog, it takes us down a peg. I don't know if we'd be a playing team, but we'd be closer to 6th or 5th without Brunson. Maybe even 7th without Brunson. Because, like, if we took Brunson off this team right now, are we better than the Celtics? No. Are we better than the Sixers? Yet to be seen. Like, are we sure we're better than the Pacers without Brunson on the court?
And a healthier Halliburton.
Yeah.
Like, a healthier Halliburton.
Or is Orlando just going to roll over and die because we have like some wings with no point guard? Like is Milwaukee just going to let us do whatever we want because Brunson's not there? Like we gotta actually take into account Brunson finished 5th in MVP voting. Like this wasn't a fluke. He is that impactful and important. So like, yes, the East is top heavy, but there are some teams like I could even say the Cavs as well. Like if they're healthy and we're missing Brunson in a series, I'm not sure you would take us with them without Brunson. With Brunson, I think we just wipe the floor with them. But it's and I just gave you 6 teams right there. So while yes, you think we might win 50 games, I think the bottom of the East, there's a lot of high.
I'm not following, bro. I'm not tracking.
I gave you like.
I know. I heard you. I heard what you gave, bro. I heard what you
Brunson
gave.
Didn't play,
but I'm not tracking because I think what was said is speculative, but it wasn't substantive. Like why would the Knicks be that compared to those other teams? I think we're saying those teams' names based on those teams' reputations, but we're not saying why the Knicks would be that much worse based off of what. That's what I'm saying.
We don't have, outside of Brunson, we don't have an above average point guard.
I think it's not even speculative. Like, you're literally saying, remove your team's best player and go against a bunch of teams that are viewed as contenders that were successful for varying stretches of last season, and they all got better, by the way.
Right.
Yeah,
We
but
don't even have
they're healthy.
we don't have a
compared to
backup
us.
that's
our
even have a backup
supposed
that's-
second best player is better than some of the other teams' best players.
I know, but at point guard, do we have?
Okay, coach.
You took him off the team.
Okay, coach. Is Randle better than Giannis? Is Randle better than Tyrese Halliburton?
Wait. Let him answer. Let him answer, bro. Let him answer.
Nah, that's hypothetical. You know he's not.
So,
Is Randle better than Joel
hypothetical and rhetorical?
Like, I'm posing this because
what I'm saying is
Randle
the
is a very
fall.
good player, but he's not.
What I'm saying is the fall off from other teams after their best player is a lot steeper than our fall.
But we're missing our best player,
Okay.
and they are completely whole. That's the hypothetical.
Agreed. I'm with Dre on that one. Yeah, I understand what you're saying about that.
Who's not? I'm not discrediting. What are we debating here? I don't understand.
It's like I think we might be closer to a plan than you might be leading on, just because you have to like name these teams, and the Cavs ain't going nowhere. Magic definitely ain't going nowhere. Celtics are not going anywhere. The Sixers have made a bid.
What you mean? You mean they're not getting worse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Bucks got worse.
I think the Bucks.
Yeah, but it's yet to be seen with the Bucks. So that puts us at worst, 5-6 range. The Pacers are not going anywhere; they're improving, and that's 5 teams, right?
I think we can beat the Pacers.
I think we could beat them. I think we can
Bridges.
beat them. I think you can beat them, but it's not going to be like if we went into a series without Brunson against them, they'd still pose issues for us. Like, to me, in this whole equation, Brunson is the trump card. That's what he is. He is the player that teams have nothing for. And if you want to win a championship, you kind of need one of those type guys. Like, there's no.
I just think there's some teams that can't cover. There's some teams that can't cover all of our guys. Like, they don't have enough players to cover Bridges, OG, and Randle.
It sounds a lot easier to say when you don't have a point guard on the floor, though. Like,
It's not like we're gonna have a high school player out there.
We're not gonna have a high school player. But if you, hypothetically speaking, you put Deuce out there for 60% of the season as your lead guard, do you have the utmost confidence you'd be above a 5 seed?
Wait, hold on, Dre. So wait a minute. So the calculator dudes are saying if Brunson goes down, that the calculators will stop working.
What do the calculators have to do with
the study hall guys
and being out to All-Star?
The study hall guys want to trade just to be trading, but then when Brunson goes down, all the activity stops.
No, it doesn't stop.
So if Brunson goes down, the front office can't trade for a guy to fill in.
But here's the parameters. You said if Brunson went out, we'd be the same. We would still win 50
with
games.
50 games.
Yeah. Now I know we won't be the same, but I think we'll get to the same place in a different way. Is basically what I'm getting at.
Hey, so
I don't know about that one.
What was the rest of the Suns roster that made the NBA Finals?
What about
better than? Well, the Suns had Campaign and Mikal Bridges starting on their finals team
because of injuries.
Yeah.
So?
No, because of injuries. They wouldn't even make the finals if Campaign was the starting point guard all year. Let's be a little bit
I'm just
realistic.
saying he started in the finals with Mikal Bridges.
He started in the finals because of injury, because a Hall of Fame point guard who steered them to even get to the finals was the reason they even got there.
Okay, did they get swept?
No, they won the first 2 games and then they got backdoor swept.
Okay, so what I'm saying is two guys on that team or on this team, plus OG Anunoby, Randall, and Mitchell Robinson, and Dante DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart.
It sounds like to me the Knicks feel like Jalen Brunson is the savior. Nothing happens without Jalen Brunson.
And this isn't.
That's just because in my mind, like I was talking to.
I'm not saying we're going to the chip without Brunson either.
I didn't say you said that, Coach.
Expectation dies if Brunson's off the table.
As it does for every team who misses their best
I'm
player.
arguing the point that we're not going to be a playing team. What I'm saying.
Yeah, listening is fundamental, Coach.
I think we're closer to one. I'm not going to outright say a playing team, because I think if I had to guess, it's all speculative, like Freezy said. I think there's about 5 teams that are probably better than us if they're completely healthy without Brunson, and we're without Brunson. But outside of that, if we're talking just 5 teams, then that's just one team off from the play-in at that point.
Brunson is our savior to get us to the finals. He's the
ace in the hole.
Brunson, for some fans, to me, Brunson ain't that. Brunson's a very good player, top 10, but to put Brunson in that sphere of savior, he's cheese and rice. Nah, bro.
I think Freezy, he knows that. That's why he took that contract to begin with. He needs a stacked deck roster.
Bro, yeah. So the thing about so I want to add something substantive.
Okay.
Right? When you take Jalen Brunson out of the rotation, the defense gets better. Right?
Yeah.
The defense gets better. Now, the offense suffers because you don't have guys that can create their shot against any matchup consistently in any game situation. Brunson does that. Brunson can do that. Now, will the number of shots per game go down because Jalen Brunson's not here? What are we talking about? Cheese and rice? Are we talking about a savior? I mean, come on, man.
We could talk about shots, but the quality of shots matters.
Quality would be way down.
You can say shots, and I think our turnover rate would go up because he's not playing naturally.
You can argue now this year that out of all the supposed top 10 players in the league right now, Brunson has the best support cast.
Well, I think Tatum has a hell of a supporting cast, personally.
Yeah, I agree with Ray on that. Tatum supporting cast is crazy. Now, supporting cast 2 through 5, not 6 through 11. I'm with Coach on the others. Now, once you get into that 10, I'm with Coach.
They're a heavy top 6 right now. Like they're a heavy top 6.
What I'm saying is
crazy. But
does Boston Celtics go all the way without Tatum?
No.
No one does.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to say the other names. Jokic,
and
Luka, and even Anthony Edwards.
And Coach, I'm gonna be real with you. If they miss Tatum, they'd be in that 5, 6, 7 range. Talking about playing if they didn't have Tatum for the entire year. If Giannis up and disappeared like Thanos snap, and he's off that team, they're not even a playing team.
They're a lottery team.
Yeah, but okay, fair enough. Who has the better roster today, Milwaukee or the Knicks?
The Knicks,
right?
At least complimentary wise. Now, if those guys are healthy. When they
What?
were healthy, they were giving teams issues. They
They
just
all got
aren't
a
healthy.
year older
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying they all got a year older.
on a team that looked
Unfortunately.
pretty old last year. All they did was
They look like wild hogs. Was that the name of the movie with the old dudes on their motorcycles?
replace
Oh yeah.
Pat Bev with Gary Trent. They got a year older.
Bro, all they did was replace Cameron Payne with
They
Gary
got
Trent.
rid of Malik Beasley for Gary Trent, and I don't think Gary
And-
Trent Jr. is that good of a player personally.
And Middleton's still day to day.
I think this is the thing that they're banking on. They said Dame Lillard came into the season out of shape, and then he got injured because he was out of shape, and now he's apparently taking
Oh
better
my
care
Wait a
of his
minute,
body.
Trey, are you saying
Oh,
Doc
wait.
Rivers made an excuse?
They got Torian Prince. I forgot.
Fritz,
out.
is that dude saying Doc Rivers had an excuse all ready to go about
Yes,
the season
I'm
that
talking
they
about.
stumbled?
I'm talking about Glenn Rivers, Reezy. That's who I'm talking
I'm
about.
saying because Fritz, I don't know about y'all, but during the summer, the excuse king is always Doc Rivers, bro. He's always got excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, maybe I'm harsh because I've heard for the past 8 seasons, Doc Rivers with a excuse already ready to go and past their legal department and PR departments. Right? maybe I'm numb to Doc Rivers' excuses, but the fact that ESPN has Chris Middleton listed at shooting guard lets me know their roster is a disaster, bro.
If I think it's all speculative, but if you were to ask me, Gary Trent is probably going to start at the 2, and Chris is going to be at the 3, just like they had Malik Beasley at the 2.
Bro, their perimeter defense is going to be
It's going to be horrendous.
bro.
Giannis needs to average 40 a game this year.
Breezy, I'm going to be real with you. They got Chris Middleton coming back this season off 2 arthroscopic surgeries in both ankles.
And that man already has what you call in shape issues. I'll just put it that way.
Hey, yeah, he got
It always takes Chris Middleton 25 games after something in order to become peak Middleton.
Yes.
Bro, do I want to wait 2 months for Mount Middleton? Your season's over.
Giannis is going to put pressure on that team to do something.
Who's fourth starter in the East or West is better than OG Anunoby?
Yeah,
Fourth starter. Well, I think Drew Holiday is up there. Derek White is up there. They're both very, very, very good players.
bro.
And not even take into account Chris Stapps, but Chris Stapps is hurt. So
Chris Stapps is their third, but technically.
yeah, so then you're talking about Drew and Derek White, and
I'll
it's
still
like
take
it's a
OG.
toss up between those two.
Yeah,
Drew
bro.
Holiday is 78 years old.
Drew Holiday is a very, very good
In
basketball.
guard years.
He's a great player.
He's man, as a fourth option, he's an amazing fourth option.
He won't be there in 2 years.
No,
Well, then they got Derek White right there. Then now what?
he probably won't. But Boston will find a way to stay on top of the pack, bro. Unlike
Okay,
the
so-
Knicks, and the Sixers,
So
and
you name the champs.
Milwaukee.
Name someone else.
Yeah, they'll find a way to be the Celtics.
Mhm.
That's for sure. We don't know the name of the guy, but they'll get somebody.
They'll find a way.
But in terms of Jalen Brunson, bro, I think the Knicks are almost in impenetrable status when it comes to missing a guy. If any rookie does anything, is by far the best roster in the NBA. If one of the rookies, just one of them can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, you have the deepest roster in the NBA. Keita Bates-Diop is a 16-minute per night NBA player for his career, and he may not get a minute with the Knicks.
Because most of those teams were trash. That's why.
But he still played, bro.
Most
And
of
even
them
Precious,
absolute garbage.
Precious, really nice. Precious might not play.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Bro.
he will with Mitch.
Well, he's gonna have to.
It's hey, and it's funny how and I'm not saying what Dre is saying is hypocritical, but I do, and I'm saying this respectfully. I don't mean for this to be disrespectful, right? So if that's what the way y'all took it the wrong way. But it's ironic that Keita Bates-Diop's minutes are blase minutes, but Cameron Payne's minutes are substantial.
I said they were substantial.
Yes.
When?
2 weeks ago, when I said Cameron Payne is going to
No
come
one
here
is saying.
and you said, but he started for a play, bro. You don't remember the
No.
conversation?
I said he
for a playoff
started.
team?
He's capable, and he's done it in playoff games. Keita Bates-Diop ain't done it in not one playoff game. Period.
Did you? But the point that I was making is those teams that Cameron Payne was on were stacked NBA teams, bro. This dude is not
And
coming in
Cameron
here.
Payne earned his way into a rotation on a stacked roster. Keita Bates-Diop can never earn his way in the rotation of a stacked roster because he's not that good.
The stacked roster he was on, bro. You remember the first stacked roster he was on? That man got traded to Chicago because he could not find minutes. Remember, he got beat out by a dude named Eric Mena. Yeah, remember Eric Mena? The third or fourth point guard in Oklahoma City. Anybody remember him? And Cameron Payne was there also. Kyle Singler, Perry Jones. Yeah, anybody remember Perry Jones the third? We don't remember the first round picks, Oklahoma City.
Cam Payne figured out a way to be a rotational, serviceable big point guard on a playoff team. He did figure it out because he was damn near out of the league.
He was out of the league.
Yeah, he was damn near out of the league. He figured it out.
Yeah.
So that's testament to him. But that doesn't change the fact that it did happen. It's never happened for Keita.
Cameron Payne got beat out. Cameron Payne got beat out by Tomas Satoransky and Richie Ryan. What's his name? Brandon Archidiakono?
Ryan
Archidiakono. Yeah.
That doesn't take away the fact that it did happen for him, and it's never happened for Keita Bates-Diop.
I got you. What I'm saying is I feel like we should look at them in a balanced way, like because we don't know from situation to situation which one dominated and which one did not. All we know is when you look at the back of their basketball card, so to speak, these guys played for a number of years consistently. And regardless of the situation, like one was in the other, whatever, when you look at the amount of time that they played, both of these dudes carved out long NBA careers and stayed in the league. And to say that one guy did it because he earned it and the other guy was the benefactor of an ideal situation, I don't know is completely fair.
Benefactor. There are. You either take advantage of your situation or you don't. And he did.
Here's another way.
Hold on, coach. Hold on. And if we're relying on either one of those guys to play substantial minutes, something probably went very, very wrong.
Right.
Well, here's another way I'm going to elaborate the point as I'm getting at. Number one, I'm not saying we're just as good without Brunson. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if the rest of our team without Brunson isn't still a 6th or 7th seed level team, then we're not good enough to win the championship with them.
Well,
because the rest of the team needs to be that good with Brunson for us to win the chip, is what I'm saying. So if you're saying his supporting cast isn't good enough to still be a 6th seed in the East, then we're not good enough to win with them.
But you are.
And I'm saying we are. We're good enough to be a 6th seed without him.
I'm agreeing with that, but a 6th seed is only just a hop, skip, and a jump from a 7th seed, which is the play-in. So it wasn't all that far off what Fritz said.
Who would you say right now, if I had to tell me right now who the 4 play-in teams are? Who are they?
The whoever's going to be at the 9 and the 10 are going to be teams well under 500. The East is very top heavy right now.
Okay, so 7 and 8. We're looking at who? Like someone like the Hawks might sneak into
No,
8.
Hawks
I
are going to be
think
even lower
they
than
ain't gonna
that.
be a playing team. They're gonna be trash, bro.
All right.
Freezy, a terrible team is going to
The,
make the play-in this year.
the
Like an
Heat,
absolutely terrible team.
I think it's gonna be
make the play-in.
Charlotte. I think it's
The
gonna be,
Heat?
but I've been alluding to that for a couple
I
of
didn't
months.
even think about the Heat. Like,
the Heat are a 7 seed, 8 seed.
Yeah.
it's playing.
I think it's time, but the Heat are like Hawaii 5-0, bro. They'll hang around, and then every once in a while they'll be like the 3 seed, and this might be the year. This might be the year where they become the 3 seed in the East. Every let me just say every election year, Miami does something like that where they prove to everybody that the Spoelstra Riley thing does work. Right, because if they're like a 7 seed again, you got to question Spoelstra and Pat Riley. Right, you got to start that. You can't just be like, oh, we're just cruising through the regular season. We'll be the 8 seed and we'll knock somebody off. Nah, people will get tired of that, bro.
A lot of that is due to Jimmy Butler deciding to not play like 25% of the games, just because.
Yeah, and people will get tired of that.
I think there's going to be some turmoil in Miami this year. This off season between Jimmy and Pat Riley, there's going to be some remnants of this all year. Because they're not going to be happy.
Jimmy's going to ask for a max, and Pat Riley going to tell that man to kick rocks.
They're going to trade that man, bro. If that thing that man gone, bro. Pat Riley ain't gonna deal with all that mess, bro. Pat Riley ain't dealing with it. Yo, you talking about the shortest tempered dude in anybody front office, bro? Y'all remember how quick they got rid of Hassan Whiteside? Like, bro, you got this money and you talking about you ain't gonna play. Okay. Bro,
As
Miami
soon as they put Bam in front of him, one time he started throwing hissy fits.
Yep.
Oh, he's already gonna make it the Bam and Hami Haken show.
Yeah,
to do
it. They've been transitioning now for a minute, and now they have another guy. Coach, what's the other guy that's behind Jovic, the rookie they just Khalil Ware. Yeah. They got to play Khalil Ware, bro.
He's gonna be good.
They got to play Ware, bro. And then you got three. Now you got 3 young dudes. You kind of got like a little core or something. Yeah, man. They. But anyway, on the Knicks thing, the thing about Jalen Brunson, the thing I want to point out is I think this roster is impenetrable, bro. If one of these bro, all it takes is one of the vets that wasn't here last year and one of the rookies can legit chew bubblegum without choking, bro, the roster will be the best roster this franchise has ever seen, bro.
In your life?
In my life.
So we not counting the 70s Knicks.
I'm counting them. I was alive for them. I saw that roster.
You counting them? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
The one with 4 or 5 Hall of Famers on it?
All them dudes shouldn't have made the Hall of Fame, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my stats.
Those are lifetime achievements.
Bradley is not a Hall of Famer.
No, Bill Bradley is not a Hall of Famer, bro.
The only legit Hall of Famers really Willis, Frazier, and DeBusschere.
And Pearl, I think, in my mind, Pearl is.
Pearl.
Hey, that's 4.
And I don't even think DeBusschere's a bona fide Hall of Famer. I think it's up for discussion because he was at during his time, he was a Draymond Green type of power forward that the league had never seen. And basically our offense was Golden State without a 3-point line. Basically that's who we were. Like the offense and everything that they ran, we were like the forerunner of that Golden. You got your 6'9", 6'10" center, a blown up power forward. Coach, think about that. In the era of Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? We have a 6'9", 6'10" former power forward playing center, right? Dave DeBusschere is the Detroit Tigers had that man listed at 6'6". You remember he used to pitch for the the Chicago White Sox. Let me use a picture for the Chicago White Sox listed at 6'6". Anybody that tell y'all Dave DeBusschere is taller than 6'6" or bigger than 220, you don't know who you're talking about. Dave DeBusschere was about 6'6", 215, really tough, was a Draymond Green type power forward before NBA franchise could figure out what a Draymond Green type power forward could be. The forerunner of your Anthony Masons and guys like that are undersized power forwards that can dribble, pass, and shoot and be a conduit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the Dave DeBusschere, and listen, I'm not trying to throw salt on that man's name because I think he did great things for the organization on the court and in the front office. But yeah, Dre, I think
compared to his peers at the time, he's all of it.
Ooh.
You can't go back because the rest of the league got crazy and really good at his position and say, nah, he ain't as good anymore. At the time, he was. Because that's what the Hall of Fame is how good you were against your peers.
Right. So I called him, basically I called him an innovator, is basically what I called him.
Yeah. You also said he was a fringe Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think he's a fringe Hall of Famer, bro. Yeah, bro, a fringe Hall of Famer, NBA champion. What are we saying that he's a bum now?
No, I don't consider him fringe. I mean, he's not slam dunk first ballot. I don't know how they work that ballots, but I think you can make a case for it. But I agree with you. It's the best roster since then. Ewing's never had as many weapons with him.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And the team presidents, bro. The thing is, we're in such a good. The team president gets an A+, the coaching staff gets an A+, the roster gets an A+, and we're in a situation where the team can only get better. How do you improve on an A+? You know what I'm saying? So all those things are aligned. There have been years where we had talent and the front office was a mess, or we had talent, the front office had a vision, and the coaching staff was a mess. Or the coaching staff and the front office was straight and the roster was a mess.
Yep.
And now when you have three of them aligned all at once and the arrow is pointing up, when the arrow is pointing up, bro.
And a bunch of guys in their prime.
Yep.
Like there isn't like as far as our main rotation, there isn't really a guy that's not in their prime or headed towards it.
And
Dave DeBusschere was a 6-time all defensive first teamer.
Right.
Dude. And he averaged 11 rebounds for his career.
Okay.
I mean, he averaged 16 and 11 for his career.
Right. And he could have averaged more than that too, Coach, by the way. When you look at his numbers, Bill Bradley's numbers, and Pearl Monroe's numbers, all of those dudes could have averaged more points per game, but they chose to play team basketball together in New York.
Yeah.
They sacrificed shots for team. They sacrificed personal achievements for championships.
Mm-hmm.
4 out of those 6 years that you're talking about, the Knicks were the best team in the NBA. They made the championship. They made the championship game 3 times. They lost once to the Lakers. The 1 year in the gap in between there, the 72 Lakers may have been the greatest team in NBA basketball history. The 72 Lakers won 33 straight games in 72. Right? In 74, they fell off. 75, it was over. Right? But in the 68-69 season, the Knicks were probably the best team in basketball, but they were too young. They would remind you of the 1995 Orlando Magic, where they had all the young pieces in place to get over the hump, but they couldn't because they didn't have experience. The very next year, that summer, the Boston Celtics said, bro, we the champs, but the Knicks are coming, right? And the very next year after that, the Knicks are the NBA champs. So it's the greatest summer in New York history, or the greatest year in New York history. The Jets won the Super Bowl, the Mets won the World Series, and the Knicks were the NBA champs. Started in 69, 70. So I already know, bro. bro, trust. I know. I'm with you. I'm not saying Dave DeBusschere is a bad player, right? I'm not saying that, right? But here's the thing that we didn't. Here's the thing that we didn't talk about, right? Bill Bradley is a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Did you know Earl Monroe and Clyde Frazier were not first ballot Hall of Famers?
What?
They were not
Oh,
first ballot
thanks.
Hall of Famers.
Clyde wasn't first ballot?
No, he was not.
We know what the problem was still back then a little bit.
Bro, did you know that the Knicks had to maneuver their roster in order for Bill Bradley to fit? He was a shooting guard coming out of college. We had to move him because he was not the quickest of wing players back then. Right? There were a lot of stuff in order to fit Bill Bradley in the lineup. Right? Was he a good shooter, good passer, great team guy? Absolutely. Unselfish? Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to like the Knicks thing, when you look back at this thing, I think we should take into account the environment in which these things happened and not just the 11 boards for DeBusschere. DeBusschere was a great player when we got him from Detroit. Right. And we traded an all-time Knick to get Dave DeBusschere. Fritz, do you know the guy that we traded to get Dave DeBusschere? One of the greatest centers in Knicks history. We don't talk about him. We don't talk about him because he never won a championship, but he was also an all-star. When you talk about the top three centers in NBA history, and I take off Willis Reed and Pat Ewing, who are y'all going to say is the third best center in Knicks history?
Was it McAdoo?
No, this was McAdoo was after.
Tyson
Yeah,
Chandler.
that's right.
Yeah.
No, it's God, I can't do this thing.
Bellamy.
Yeah, that's
Bellamy. Okay.
Walt Bellamy.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yes. The best centers in the league back then.
Yeah.
Walt Bellamy gave all that.
Trick question. It was Eddie Curry.
Eddie Curry. Damn, there it is, bro. Nobody would have guessed it, bro. So the point that I'm getting at is I understand the
Jordan
70s.
Hill.
The 70s had a great roster, and I have them on a pedestal that is untouched. Like I don't even like talking about them in a regular sense because of how great they were and what they sacrificed personally to achieve the goal of winning. Back when winning championships was the goal and not a shoe deal, not a signature shoe. Right, not starting for Team USA, right? Not getting the bag. To me, the bag has made the winning conversation muddied. Right?
Didn't Walt Bellamy get a quintuple double? Wasn't he the only player to ever get a quintuple double?
5 of them?
No. Elijah Wan and David Robinson did it also.
I know quadruple, but a quintuple, I don't think I've ever seen a quintuple.
A quintuple double is what you said?
Yeah, I gotta look.
Oh no, I don't know the answer.
I ain't never seen nobody get 10 steals and 10 blocks in a game.
Nah,
it must have been turnovers.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, I don't, bro. That's like a 2K stat line, bro.
Hey,
if it happens,
quadruple doubles have happened though.
Yeah,
sure.
Robinson and Elijah Wan did it, I think, in back-to-back seasons.
Draymond was one basket away from one, and he screwed it up.
Draymond is a triple single ready to happen. But the thing, but Fritz, for the thing I was saying about Jalen Brunson is, I understand Jalen Brunson is a dynamic player, right? A dynamic player, right? I think we got to relax, bro. It's only been 2 seasons. I think we got to calm down. I know. The Knicks go decades without having elite point guard play, right? They will go decades, right? We'll go from, and I know Richie Guerin was a combo guard, but we'll go from Richie Guerin to 8 years later is Clyde, and then 8 years later is Michael Ray Richardson. And then 6 years later, it's Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland, and then 10 or 12 years later, it's I'm coming out. And then so it's one of them things that I know we don't have consistent point guard play enough where we can appreciate a point guard when we get one. So when we get one, we put him on the Mount Rushmore of everything, right? Like a dude legit told me that, Coach, a dude told me, bro, on the phone, a dude told me Jalen Brunson is having a Reggie Jackson type impact on New York City.
Well, I'll say this: that there's a difference in between consistency and a guy that dropped 40 in 4 straight playoff games, when teams know damn well he was the only guy like that could actually score consistently.
You know what my response to that though, Dre, is? Did he sip champagne? Did he have ski goggles on?
He didn't
Was
win
he
a
smoking
championship
cigars
during
holding a
that.
trophy?
I'd Freezy, in that situation with that roster, how many players in NBA history?
Yeah, don't matter. Nah, but that wasn't the question. The question was, did he hold the gold ball? Did he have a championship hat on? Did he have on ski goggles? Was he sipping champagne? No, he wasn't. You can't compare him to Reggie Jackson, bro. When Reggie Jackson did it and won a championship for New York, when New York hadn't won a championship in
that's a whole nother discussion.
Right.
Reggie Jackson brought a title. I just think Brunson was a phenom, or is
Right.
a phenom right now.
Yeah, right. And I agree with that. What I'm saying is, ultimately, what I'm getting at is I understand Brunson is great. He's an all-star at the position. He's putting up out of this world type numbers, but until Jalen Brunson actually saves the franchise, he's not a savior. Right? He's not a savior until he actually does it. Right? And so, man, we get hyped about, bro. We're hyped about Jalen Brunson, bro. But I was more hyped than this in 2011 when we traded and got a scoring machine small forward from the Denver Nuggets. I was more hyped then.
How hyped were you when we got Stephon Marbury?
Bro, through the ceiling, bro. And Fritz wasn't even born back then in 2004. You know what I mean? but I'm saying the hype machine was crazy, bro. The hype machine was insane. They were killing Allen Houston. We gave Allen Houston all that money, man. Allen Houston stay hurt. That man missed like a total of like 40 games or something over like 3 years. And they talking about that man stay hurt, right? Oh, he stay hurt. He got the
I was excited when we got Spreewell.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't, bro. I was the opposite because we traded Starks. I thought it was the end of the, I thought it was the end of the world.
I was still mad.
I was excited. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was in high school. Yeah.
Bro, you was in high school when they got Spreewell, bro?
Yeah.
Was that 98 we got him?
Fritz,
I graduated I graduated in 98. People be saying I look 20 something, but no.
Fritz always a motherfucker.
That picture you got, you look like OG.
Oh my God, Fritz out here with the fake ID.
Oh, you know what Walt Bellamy did? He had 88 games out here.
Damn.
We worried about Mitch playing 50. Here, Walt Bellamy.
They was out there playing in Chucks, Coach.
Yeah.
Them dudes were playing 42 minutes a game.
Bro, and Coach, on top of that, right? On top of that,
And
the
Chuck
preseason,
Taylor's, like
preseason was like 20 games. Y'all don't remember when the preseason used to be like 20, 25 games?
Yes.
Bro, they had just cut it to like, they were like, we're gonna do y'all a favor and cut the preseason to 16 games.
Them dudes.
And they was going everywhere.
Them teams, they played each other like 20 times each. Because it was only how many teams in the league back then? They hated each other, boy. Every game was a sport back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Preseason games, they be playing like in some high school gym.
Yes.
They didn't have these new trainers, new surgeons. Not the space age technology that like they have on their feet now that they only wear for one game and then they get another pair of sneakers.
Right. Bro, they was legit playing in an unair conditioned gym in Piscataway, bro, to sell tickets.
With fans smoking cigarettes in the
With
stands.
fans smoking cigarettes behind the bench.
You know, Walt Bellamy's rookie year, he averaged 32 and 19.
You know what's funny?
Coach, you talking to me?
Freezy, you know what's funny?
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
I used to see like these photos, these cool photos of like a hazy background and like the NBA players playing, and I didn't know it was cigarette smoke.
It was cigarette. It wasn't your camera, bro.
And there wasn't no AC up in that place either.
And it wasn't no AC, bro. The gym, bro.
They didn't even have that good deodorant with the uranium and
with
all
the
that
chemicals
stuff
in it. They ain't had the deodorant with the metal in it.
It was using charcoal.
And they were sharing it. Hey, bro, let me hold your deodorant, bro. Coach, they had the metal cans where you spray and it's like a grenade went off in there. Like one spray and all the deodorant be in the air for like 2 hours, bro.
Cats would be playing with gold chains on during
and they didn't have a new uniform every game either.
No, they had a washing machine. You remember those? Remember washing machine?
You can always tell that some of them jerseys at the end of the year had them stains all over.
And the letter peeling off, they get the lady from the back to come in and iron the thing back on, bro.
And if it rips, they actually got to patch it because they ain't getting no new jersey.
No, because college basketball was bigger than the NBA at the time. NBA ain't had no money. That's why they did the merger. That's why they merged with the ABA.
John
Both
Wooden
of them would have
God of basketball back then.
Yeah, it was, bro. If the NBA and the ABA didn't merge, it was going to be mutually assured destruction, bro. Right? They had to merge, bro.
NBA was on tape delay all the way till the 80s.
And it's because Larry O'Brien was given a bad job. He was given a job not to have the league thrive, but have it survive. And by having it survive, he talked the Lakers into moving to LA so that the NBA would be transcontinental. And basically what they said was, we'll do everything we can to help the Lakers survive, because if the Lakers survive, the league survives. And people think that just went away. People think that just went away because the Lakers got good. No, the Lakers didn't get good, bro. They didn't
happen.
That just didn't happen, bro. All these weird coin. You ever notice every coin flip the Lakers were in, they won? Every coin flip the Lakers. You remember the hotel, the flip in the hotel? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar either goes to the Knicks or the Lakers. They do a coin flip and it land on the carpet. He go to LA. Yeah, the Knicks were a championship. The Knicks were a dynasty, bro. If they would have replaced Willis Reed with Lou Alcindor, with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, bro, the Knicks would have won 9 more championships. Every coin flip, you ever saw Showtime where they did a coin flip on does Magic go to Chicago or Los Angeles? Y'all ever saw that?
Yeah. Bro, you told me about it.
Yeah, man. So that's what, Coach. And I'm sorry about getting in the bag about old school Knicks, bro. But that's that window that you're talking about.
Shoot. I love it.
That 6-year window where the Knicks were the best team in basketball, bro. You couldn't beat. You legit couldn't beat the Knicks, because if you didn't double team DeBusschere out of this thing called the pinch post, if you didn't double team him there, all the jump shooters we had would just pick you apart all night. And then if you spread your defense out to the perimeter, Willis Reed would destroy anything moving in the post, bro. It was an offense, bro. It was so beautiful, bro. And then when Dave DeBusschere started hitting baseline shot, like that the Bill Winnington shot from Chicago, the little 18-footer on the baseline, when he started hitting that, bro, it don't matter. It don't matter what you do, bro. It don't matter. It don't matter. And then I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And bro, basically what I'm saying is is you see how high I hold that team in esteem, right? I put that team on a pedestal where I don't even like talking about it because most people don't understand how good Knicks basketball was for that 6-year stretch. They can never a Knicks fan cannot imagine what it's like being the model franchise of the NBA. And for a 6-year stretch, the Knicks, even though we didn't win championships in all of those 6 years, the Knicks were the franchise that everybody else was aspiring to be. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds bananas. That sounds bananas. But we could have won it in 73. I'm sorry, not 73. I keep saying 70. We could have won it in 71. We were injured, had a lot of injuries. The 72 Lakers were the greatest team God ever created, right? It don't matter who wins more games in a season. It don't matter if you can go 82-0, you're still not better than that Lakers team. I don't care. Right. Because that team absolutely played for each other and basketball clicked. That's how come they were so great. Like for those that believe in hoops, those that believe in basketball, bro, that's the greatest team. God, I don't care if you go 73-9, 70-12. Yeah.
The Showtime Lakers?
No. 86 Celtics? No. 93 Bulls? No. 96 Bulls? Nope.
No, what Lakers team? I missed that part.
72 Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 72 Lakers. They won 33 games in a row. And my uncle tells me, because I was a little boy, right? You know, you watching or whatever, and they play put the games on and all that stuff. My uncle told me the only reason why they lost, and the only reason why they lost the game, the only reason why they beat the streak is because they got tired of reporters asking them about the streak. So they just lost the game so they can get the reporters off their back. And then I think they won like 10 more games or something crazy. The only reason why they even lost is because they got tired of the reporters. And when are y'all going to lose? When are y'all going to lose? They lost. Reporters went away, and then they went on to win the championship. So Fritz, that's why I'm saying, like, this team now, I'm so high on this team. I feel like, and I know it's going to sound random, but I feel like even if Jalen Brunson gets hurt, this team can still win 50 games. Still. And I don't mean win the 50th game on the last day of the season either. I'm talking about, I think the team would still be dominant throughout the season because the team is so deep. I think just thinking about losing Brunson puts us in a captured and fragile mindset. And I'm going to include myself because I don't want to think about Jalen Brunson getting hurt. I do think we can survive without Jalen Brunson if we need to, right? And we don't have to trade for Damian Lillard in order to survive. I think we can survive with the guys that we have now. Am I guaranteeing a championship? Absolutely not. Because even if healthy, you can't guarantee a championship. I guess that means Fritz doesn't agree. I think Fritz, you thinking the Knicks are below a play-in team still?
No, I think that I think we still got some holes. I think we still got some holes to fill.
But you won't. I don't think you mentioned the hole though. That's the part that was.
No, it's just I think just at center, what's going on at center.
You think so? The Knicks need to carry 6 big men.
They just need a second quality big man.
And Precious won't cut it.
No, not really. Okay. No, but if you know Precious isn't going to make it the whole year.
You don't know that. I don't know that.
I mean, Mitch.
No, I mean but they legit signed him to a contract to trade him in the middle of the year.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? So we're not talking about Precious in the playoffs because by the time he'll be gone.
Objection, Your Honor.
Possibly.
Speculation. Your Honor, permission to treat the witness as a hostile witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how could. Okay, so the argument for this is double-sided. Like when asked unprompted, you said that the Knicks front office values flexibility, right?
The value of flexibility.
That's what you said, right? They value flexibility.
Yeah.
I don't want to misquote you, bro. I don't want to.
No. The flexibility they value. They don't want to be like the Celtics, where you're in the corner and you can't get out. Like where you need something and you can't get it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, I got you. I got you.
But
So
yeah,
I think him waiving that no trade is only about them in case of an emergency and they need to trade him, they'll be able to do so. Like if they could have signed him for $5 million and not offered him a no trade clause, I think they would have did so.
okay.
Right?
No,
Because
it wasn't even about
rules.
it wasn't even about the waiving the no trade clause. It wasn't even that. It was. I mean, they came to an agreement that he would waive it, sure, but no matter what, he can't come back next year. Okay. He's not coming back next year. Okay. So, like, if you put him in a situation where he's not coming back next year,
I don't know 1 year deal. They can't do
it. You're not investing in him,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, are you worried about next year? Or are you worried about this year?
No, but like they gave him a contract where it only makes sense that you trade him in the middle of the season.
Trade him.
That's not the contract you give.
What do you get? What are you getting for him?
Huh?
What are you getting for him?
I know. I don't know. I think they're. But
the
thing. Okay, but I think they're.
Coach, what are they getting for Precious, Coach?
No, I think what they're doing is they're accounting.
No team's going to do us a favor.
No, but I think they're accounting, just in case Julius presses the issue about his salary. I think that's what it is. What it's about. But yeah, they have no. Yeah, I don't expect him to be on that roster past the deadline.
Maybe this question I have. This was something I wanted to ask you before, Freezy, but we went off and rambled on a bunch of other crap before we got a chance to follow up.
I was on Fantasy Island, bro.
Like when you mentioned one of the rookies, one of them shows up and chew bubble gum and
without choking
at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a subject for another show. Who do you think? What rookie has that chance? Who do you think that rookie might be?
Has to be Kolek.
You know who I think. You know who I think is going to be wrong. No, I think it's Huck Porty. I think it's Huck Porty.
Okay. Even if Daddier does well, there's like no place to put him.
There's no place. And so if we legit argue like the Hatfields and McCoys over Deuce McBride and Cameron Payne, then how in the world are we going to sit here and be respected and think Tyler Kolek is going to be in the conversation too when we're already talking about a log jam? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not talking about the log jam.
No, I said like for Daddier, there's no place to put. I mean,
yeah, because in essence, Kevin McCullough, Chuma Okeke, all those two dudes, right, are a similar type, or they want them to be similar type players to fill the a jumbo wing athletic role on the team, right? So McCullough is out. I'm not saying he won't be a Knick. I think he'll be a Knick, but I don't see him having
No,
the
I'm
easiest
seeing.
path to get minutes. I don't
I
see
think he's a
Tyler
two-way.
Kolek having an easy path either, and nor Dadier, right? I think Porty has the easiest path because he has the path of least resistance, right? All you have to do is beat out Jericho Sims and Precious. And I like Sims and Precious, by the way.
Summer's taking too long.
Coach, I got you out of gas. Coach, you out of gas now?
No, man. I want this. I want this thing to start so bad.
It don't matter when it starts. Fritz gonna trade everybody anyway. Fritz is
I ain't
gonna
out of
have.
gas. I still got some gaming to do after this.
Fritz is gonna have Randall, Deuce, and Mitch all in one trade, bro. Draft picks. You're like, yo, just give me some draft picks, bro.
I think
for trading for Bobo. Like,
Bobo. And say the reason why we did it is because of his contract.
I still think Precious has value as a backup power forward. So even if we get a center without using him, trade. All right. Let me give you this scenario. The Knicks play from the beginning of the year to December 15th, where 14 games over 500. Precious Achiuwa is playing really well. He's given us 6 and 6 off the bench. Playing some good D. McBride comes in, he hits some threes here and there, defends a couple people here and there. They both show they have a lot of value. Like they're both playing really well for what we're for the limited minutes we're giving both of them. But all of a sudden, Walker Kessler becomes available. And we won't give them one of those two. Who are you giving up?
I don't think Utah runs.
Oh wait, I forgot to say this part. Campaign's doing really well. Backing up, coming into. That was the first part I was supposed to say. My bad.
Yeah, I think Utah just wants picks. Utah just wants picks.
Well, yeah, it's going to be one of them in picks.
Yeah, or the other thing is trade Deuce somewhere for some picks and then give them, and then give all your picks.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, but I think Precious definitely traded.
Okay.
They didn't even give him a 1+1. They gave him a 1 year.
Right. Okay.
I mean they in $6 million.
$6 million. So okay. So my reasoning is, if the Knicks kept Precious this year, the trade deadline pass, he plays in the playoffs. Next summer, he's a free agent again. The Knicks can't. You know how no matter what they could sign into whatever. They couldn't do that next year.
Mm-hmm.
They have to go into their mid-level exception, and then they don't even have it. They wouldn't even have enough money to give him what they gave him this year.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's That says a lot.
So that tells you he ain't gonna be here.
This is either a half or 1 year rental.
Your half-year rental is what it is.
Yeah.
Like if they could have had an option where maybe he'll come back. They didn't even put that option. Like they didn't even put it in a way that he possibly can come back.
Okay. Well, I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not even. Okay. So what? If you win a championship this year, you concerned?
No, I'm just saying, like, but when people say, "Hey, Precious is gonna hold it down," I said, like, the Knicks don't have so much thought into him that he's gonna hold it down. Like, there has to be something else.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. A lot of things change when you win championships, bro. When you make progress, a lot of thinking changes, bro. I'll give an example, and Coach may not remember this, but the Tampa Bay.
No, but I'm just saying that the Knicks have another plan. Like they have another plan. It might not be now, but they have another plan.
They're prepared. They're preparing, right? But what I'm saying is, bro, I watched Leonard Fournette play for the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? And he looked like the most selfish running back. He looked like a stat patter, right? He looked like a stat patter, right? But then you put him on a team where everybody is concerned about winning. My man is like, sure, I'll take a pay cut. Sure, I'll get in here and pass block. Sure, man, I'll split carries with a guy so I can stay fresh. Sure, I run these routes. I get in the best shape, bro. Coach, am I lying?
Yeah.
Things change when you're in a winning environment, bro. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, everybody, I got to get out of here, man. I got some fries waiting on me, man. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm eating healthy. I got some fries smothered in cheese with bacon bits on them. I'm gonna go in here and smash these. You got to eat healthy, man. Work these trapezius muscles. Yeah, man. Hey, thank y'all everybody for coming through and rocking with us. I'm sorry I held y'all up all night. Coach, I hear
you have a good one.
All right, peace, everybody.
All right.